where the past still plays out there.
Hello, everybody, and what a show we have for you tonight. I got to pull this up here. Joining us, he's been a sports writer for decades. He was the beat writer for the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles, senior writer for Sports Illustrated, author of several critically acclaimed books on baseball. He's been a baseball writer, broadcaster, and commentator for ESPN and shows, of course, like Baseball Tonight. Oh, and did I mention that he was also named the 2022 Career Excellence Award recipient by the Baseball Writers Association of America? And I'm not done. He currently co-hosts the podcast, Is This a Great Game or What?, with his son Jeff, along with the companion YouTube channel. Please welcome the baseball analyst icon, Tim Kurkjian. Thank you so much, Tim.
How are you, fellas? Right. It's an honor to be on with dopes like you that love the same thing that I do. And,
we do.
And doing this podcast, it has reassured me that there are just as many seamhead baseball junkies, goofballs out there that love it as much as I do. And it really reinforces my belief that what I do for a living actually matters, because people actually care about even some of the nonsense we throw out on our podcast. This is what makes baseball so beautiful. It relates in so many ways to so many people.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that we all, as gamers, as hobbyists, that we still get through. I'm replaying this 1977 World Series, Yankees, Dodgers. I'm using APBA. There are things happening in that game that I just want to call up everybody I've ever met and said, you don't know what just happened. You don't understand how great this is. When you roll that 6-6, I grew up calling it APBA, and I know you call it APBA, but I guess technically it's called APBA. So, Tim, to get started here, we all know that you have been passionate about baseball, since you came into the world, basically. How did that all start? I know your dad had something to do with that. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, my dad loved the game as much as anyone I've ever met. He was a really good player in his day. He had a great feel for the game. He understood the game. He taught the game really well to his three boys. My two brothers, Matt and Andy, are in the Baseball Hall of Fame at Catholic University. They were both great college players, especially my brother Andy. Baseball was the primary language that we spoke in my house growing up. And my dad was also a PhD in mathematics, MIT undergrad. So the number of times that after we played a game, and this is important, after we played a game, we would go back to our house, watch a game on TV, and put the baseball encyclopedia on the coffee table. And he would show me stuff when I was 8 years old that I still use today. I'll never forget. He looked at it one day and said, look at this. Joe DiMaggio hit 301 homers and only struck out 369 times. Almost a 1-to-1 ratio, which you guys know, if you have a 1-to-3 ratio today, you're the best player in baseball. If you have a 1-in-4, you're doing awfully well. Joe DiMaggio was also almost 1-to-1. And this is something that I knew when I was 8 years old, because my dad, the mathematician, who had such a great feel for the game, could look through there and recognize things that were important and weren't important. So everything I've done in the game is due to my dad, who taught us all how to play. But more important, he gave us a feel for the game, where to look and what to look for.
So were you one of those kids when you were little, like, playing wiffle ball or something, where you would start keeping your own stats? Because I used to do that, even like playing wall ball or curb ball. I would name players, and I would I would have stats for them in this silly rubber ball game I was playing.
Yes, I was that kid. I was pathetic, but it's what really made me happy when I would play whatever it was. And if it was like a real, little league game, of course, I knew my stats. I knew everyone's stats, because that's what we cared about. And we played every imaginable game, 500, hot box. That's what we used to call them. We used to play in the driveway I used to throw to my two brothers. My oldest brother would crush me. My dad was in his 60s and I was still throwing hard to him, and he could still hit me when he was in his 60s. So again, this was something that we did all the time, and there was always a scorecard and a stat book somewhere to make sure that everything we had done, whether it was in APBA or in our own games, it was chronicled somewhere. That's where I got this, thing about having to write everything down, especially statistics, so I don't forget them.
So is your dad a gamer?
My dad was not a gamer, but his boys were gamers, and my mom was the greatest lady ever. Please don't take any of this wrong, but we would play baseball all day, and then in winter we'd play basketball all day. Not the point. And then we'd come home and play APBA as long as we could. And my mother got so tired of watching us do this. Again, she was born in England. She moved here when she was 22.
Oh,
She didn't
goodness.
actually have a grasp of the game, so she was a little confused. So she told my brother Matt and I many times, I'm going to burn that game because we played it relentlessly. We would go on a trip to see my aunt in Pittsfield, Mass for Thanksgiving, and we would play like 50 games along the way, 50 games of APBA along the way, lost in the trunk of the car and everything else. But it's what kept us going. It's what kept us active. And it really, believe it or not, helped me understand the game even better when I started covering the game on the major league level. I would look at somebody and say, that guy is a 9 shortstop. That guy, and I knew all of their stats. This guy had a 22.5. He had a 44.6. That stuff and that's how I would look at somebody. Like when I met them for the first time, I would whisper to myself, this is Claude Ramon. He's got 6s all over his card. Where did that come from? But that's how I really, really got interested. I mean, I love baseball. I love playing it. I read all the box scores. My father taught me about Lefty Grove, Ted Williams, Jimmy Fox when I was a kid. But when I would be alone playing APBA, and believe me, I was alone playing APBA a lot when either brother wasn't there. That's when I really started to understand what these cards meant and how good these players were.
Well, I want to back up a little bit. And first of all, I just want to point out that yes, with games like APBA and Strat-o-Matic, there's a language that we learn to interpret that is, it's all to ourselves. Nobody else who hasn't played these games understands what 6 all over the place means, but we do, and I think that's one of the really cool things. But what I really want to know is, how did you find your way to APBA?
Well, I was about 7 years old. It's so bizarre that I would remember this. And a really close family friend, Ernie Menino, his best friend on the other side of town was named Pete Pappas. I haven't said Pete Pappas's name in 50 years, but about 62 years ago, Pete Pappas introduced us to APBA. So now I've got a Willie Mays baseball card in my hand in 1964. Yeah. And I can't even begin to tell you what a cool thing that was to have a Willie Mays APBA card in my hand. So I was just hooked after that. We couldn't get enough of it. We played just all the time. My brother Matt loved to be the American League All-Star team. I was the National League All-Star team. And then when my oldest brother Andy, who didn't have much patience for his dinky little brothers, we would play an all-time teams. And so Matt would be the all-time team. So he would have Babe Ruth, in right field, and Jimmy Fox at first. And then we would and I had the American League, the National League team, and my brother Andy had the American League team. And Andy didn't love the game like we did because he had more of a life than we did. He was a big, strong, smart, handsome guy. His 2 little brothers were pretty much dorky little seamhead guys who just kind of bothered everyone in the house. But we played all the time. And when we took our trip to England, Andy was the American League All-Star team. And this is so terrible, but the one guy who never got a hit seemingly for him was Ray Fosse. and he used to slam the Ray Fosse card in his hand. And I kept saying, Andy, this is Ray Fosse. He got crushed at home plate by
Right,
Pete Rose.
by Pete
You're
Rose.
not allowed to hit him like that. So that's how good and bad that game was for us. But I still think in the long run, it was absolutely vital for me recognizing what baseball was about.
You know, what's interesting also, we've interviewed quite a few people. You have, and sort of similar to me, because it seems like a lot of guys in the hobby, kids in the hobby, when they started, they found the game themselves through, Street and Smith magazine mostly, or Sporting News. They bought the game, they played the game, but they didn't have anybody else to play with. And there would be these like stories about, well, I would be in my room playing my game and nobody knew what I was doing. You actually had a network of friends and family that you got a chance to experience it with.
Right. But it was really just my brothers. We never went out of the house to go play Pete Pappas or Ernie Menino.
no?
We kept this all in the house. And when those little manila envelopes would arrive with the new cards in them, it was Christmas Day all over again when the new APBA cards would come in, and I would just look and wonder, is he going to be a 3 outfielder? I mean, is there going to be a 10 shortstop? Who's going to have, an 11-1 and all this stuff. And it was just the most exciting time for a 10-year-old when this stuff would show up, because I was living my life through these guys. I was watching them on TV. I was reading in the box scores, and now I'm playing a game where I get to hit Roberto Clemente second, Willie Mays third, and Hank Aaron fourth. It didn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and it was really cool for guys like you and I, because you're from Gaithersburg, right? From
Right.
Gaithersburg, Maryland, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. But we had moved to Baltimore when I started playing APBA. And the fact that their company was in a place that I heard of, Lancaster, PA, I always
Right.
thought that was really cool, because there was an amusement park there called Dutch Wonderland, and now there's a game company there, and just APBA was just the coolest thing for us as kids.
Yeah, it was great. And then I kind of moved to Strat-o-Matic in my teens. A buddy around the corner said, Tim, you got to try this. It's got against right-handers, left-handers. Again, I never played the APBA advanced game.
Right.
I only played the first game.
That's all that was there back then.
Yeah, that's all there was.
Yeah.
So by the time APBA came out with an advanced game, I had already started playing Strat-o-Matic, and that was like the coolest thing ever, that I could play matchups. I remember when I was in college, and I spent a lot of time playing Strat-o-Matic by myself, because my brother Matt, at this point, he never really caught on. So the games that I played in Strat-o-Matic, I played by myself. And senior year in high school, while every other kid in the school is out chasing girls and drinking beer, I'm sitting alone in my bedroom playing Strat-o-Matic, talking to myself. And occasionally I would write game stories after a game that I had just played. And there were a few occasions where I just kind of looked around saying, is this the right thing to be doing right now? Should I be doing this when everyone else is out somewhere doing something productive, and I'm sitting alone upstairs at age 17 playing this game? I had a few questions, but Strat-o-Matic taught me an awful lot also about the game, the baseball game. So occasionally I would run into a big leaguer and thought, hey, I know what your card looked like. Your 2 column was all hits. It was amazing.
Right. Hey, John, can you bring back up that quote?
Yeah, I had that question written down.
It's a really good question.
I'll let Todd have it.
Todd asks, first of all, do you still have any of your original cards? And when was the last time you sat down to roll a game?
I do not have my original cards. My mom, God bless her, in all the moves that we made, somehow they went away.
Oh.
I have a Strat-o-Matic game here that I haven't even opened yet because I don't want to open it. It's like a new package of baseball.
Open it
cards.
Tonight on our show.
Yeah, and I have several open boxes down in the basement because my son Jeff, who now does the podcast with me, I got him really interested in Strat-o-Matic, and this is how he learned the history of the game. When I would show him these cards, A lot of them were old timer cards. So I would show him the Jimmy Fox card, and then I would explain to him who Jimmy Fox was and Lefty Grove. And that's how he learned the history of the game. And again, my father, he had other things to do, but he was always around when we were playing. So my son Jeff, who we named after my dad, whose real name was Badrig, but everyone called him Jeff. We actually made a Strat-o-Matic card for Jeff Kurkjian. And my son Jeffrey used his grandfather's card in many an APBA game.
Wow.
I mean, a Strat-o-Matic game, because he just loved to like hit Jeff Kurkjian leadoff and follow him up with Ty Cobb and Ted Williams. It was pretty fun.
Yes, that's the beauty of this whole thing. Kind of tying in with the documentary, which we're putting together. It's so much about nostalgia. It's about memories. It's about the bonding experiences that we all get to share. Do you have any sports sim memories, APBA memories, or Strat memories? You've talked sort of in a general way, but do you have anything like specific? A game that you won, a game that you lost, a roll that should have gone this way but went that way, the smell of a room you were in, something that really kind of takes you back.
My brother Matt, who was my best friend, he died of ALS a few years ago. We played all the time, and he knew exactly, even though we were best friends from the day we were born till the day he died, we played all the time. And he used to love when it was a really big spot in an APBA game, we would be playing, say, in the living room, and he would throw the second dice. So he rolls a 6. Now he's got a second dice, and he would throw it down the stairs, and we would run down the stairs. Because if it's another 6, it's a home run. The game is over. And he beat me routinely in APBA, even though I won my share. He won way more than I did. And I had him beat in a really big game, and he took that 6 and he threw it down the steps, and Mickey Mantle hit a home run to beat me. And those are the things you never forget. And then he just rubbed it in mercilessly. But so those are my childhood memories. But what really surprised me, and I'm not sure why it did, when I started covering baseball for the first time, and I started traveling and talking to a lot of people, I found out that everyone else played APBA or Strat-o-Matic along the way. And I'll never forget when I was covering the Orioles, John Miller, Hall of Fame broadcaster, one of the best of all time, he loved to play Strat-o-Matic. So one night I had left my notebook, what a terrible mistake, in the press box, and I couldn't find it. And John called me and he said, "I've got your notebook. It's up in my room." I said, "All right, I'll be right up." It's midnight. I go up to John Miller's room. He has just called a major league game at the Metrodome. Yeah. And he's sitting up there playing Strat-o-Matic at midnight. That's awesome. And he looks at me and he was playing the Toronto Blue Jays, and he goes, "I love the Blue Jays bullpen. I love it." So he loved to just take Dwayne Ward and have him ready to pitch the 8th inning, knowing he's got Tom Henke here, ready to pitch the 9th inning. And that was so cool for him. And he famously played Cal Ripken, the world's most competitive man, the world's most observant man, in a game of Strat-o-Matic on the airplane. And to my astonishment, Cal Ripken played Strat-o-Matic having never played it before, meaning he went into something, no matter how small it is, unprepared. And John Miller beat him in a game of Strat-o-Matic on a team flight. And Ripken was like, he didn't know what to do. Like, he never loses at anything. And whatever he takes on anything, baseball, don't start me. I can tell you 5 hours of stories about how competitive he was. So, but John Miller beat him fair and square. And Ripken then somehow got a hold of the game and said, "We're playing on the next trip." And John Miller said, "All right." And Ripken practiced with the Strat-o-Matic game, and then went and played him on the next flight, and he won, because there's no way that Cal Ripken is going to lose at anything, especially something involving baseball, especially one involving the strategy of baseball. So when I saw John Miller do that, I said, well, I'm not the only dope in the world that wants to take this game with me and play it after I cover a major league game. But the best one was when I was just talking to Keith Hernandez one night. And Keith's one of my favorite players just because he's the greatest defensive first baseman of all time. Great broadcaster.
We all agree with that.
And really, really fun guy to be around. So somehow Strat-o-Matic came up. So he told me this story that he played in, he was a great high school player, of course, and he'd come home after his high school baseball games and play Strat-o-Matic. So he gets drafted to go play for the St. Louis Cardinals. So he's going to be a professional baseball player. He packs his Strat-o-Matic. He puts it in his luggage. He is off to some, as he puts it, 2-bit hotel in St. Petersburg, Florida for spring training. He gets there. He can't wait to open up his suitcase to play his Strat-o-Matic. And it's not in the suitcase. And he calls home and says, Dad, what happened? And his father said, Keith, you're a professional baseball player now. You can't be taking that game with you. And Keith said, but Dad, I'm halfway through the 72 season.
Right.
So I'm thinking, here's a guy who is destined to be a star, who would become the greatest defensive first baseman of all time. And he was completely captivated by that game in high school. And then when he became a professional baseball player, and he still, if you guys listen to Mets games, and I know you have, he brings up Strat-o-Matic. He loves it. And we had him on the podcast.
That was a great episode.
Right. It was so much fun. So this is how Strat-o-Matic works, as you guys know. He played all sorts of games, and I said, Keith, did you have a favorite player? And he listed them. I said, did you have a least favorite player? And he goes, every time I put Bob Lemon in a game, he walked 3 guys in a row. And he said, and he would like windmill Bob Lemon's card all the way across the room because he was so furious that a Hall of Fame pitcher that he's putting in a critical spot cannot throw a strike. So he told me every time he thinks about Bob Lemon, he doesn't think Hall of Fame pitcher, really good manager. He just thinks he was terrible on my Strat-o-Matic team.
Go ahead, John.
These guys would fit in perfect at one of our conventions.
Definitely, absolutely.
They'd just be like one of the guys.
Sure.
Yeah, it's such a captivating game. It is such a game that just stays with you. I would have kept playing it. Except I just the beat writer job that I had was just so busy and so difficult that I just didn't have time to play anymore.
I still can't get the image out of my mind of Cal Ripken losing at Strat, getting so upset. I just picture him like having his cards on the table at home and he's taking them through batting practice. You know, he's rolling dice. He's trying to find the best way to roll so that he can get
right. And I promise you, when he beat John Miller, he had his bullpen all lined up. He knew who John Miller had. He had guys lined up, lefty in the 6th inning, right-hander in the 7th inning. That's how Cal Ripken, the most analytical, observant guy I've ever met, he had the whole thing set up. And that's what's so beautiful about that game, that even major league players are fascinated by it because it's kind of like the game they play. There's just no chance you're going to get hit with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
No, maybe a die. You know, a die might hit.
Yeah,
you.
I got hit with a few dice.
Yeah,
My brother would throw the dice around. I got hit in the head more than once. Yes.
Right.
Trip going down the stairs to see where that white die landed.
Right.
Well, that's gotta unofficially qualify as the world's largest dice tower.
Yeah,
right.
it was, and when it turned up a 6, I'm not sure I'd ever seen my brother that happy in his life. So.
Pesky, it sounded like you had something to ask.
I was going to say, you brought up, fathers and Willie Mays. My dad taught me baseball, and the one thing he taught me was Willie Mays is the greatest player of all time, and he's better than Mickey Mantle. That was his hero. And you were on Baseball Tonight, probably, one of your first years on there. We're watching it together, and you said on TV that Willie Mays is the greatest player of all time. From that day on, that goes, that guy knows baseball. And so from that on,
That's how it works.
he was a Tim Kurkjian fan because he knows baseball. And that was kind of like every time anyone said that, it was vindication for him to his son. See, your dad's right. And so you wrote an article about Willie Mays on his birthday. I think it was his 80th birthday. I think it was. And
90th birthday.
Yeah. And he that says, and so I read it. He goes, did you read it? Did you read this? Make sure you read this, And so
look, there's no debate.
Yeah,
Willie Mays is the greatest baseball player of all time.
And so
if
now,
you say otherwise, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
However, there is someone on this panel that thinks that Al Bunbury is better than Willie Mays.
Stop it. That's not what I said.
Exactly what you said.
It's true.
Because I was playing a combined team, 73
Just giving
Mets.
you a hard
Well,
73 Mets,
I'd like Tim to know I'm not an idiot. So we were playing this. I was playing a combined franchise against Ron. I had the 73 Mets combined with the 79 Orioles, and he had the 2005 Red Sox with the 2017 Nationals. So we're playing the game. We're playing the game on the air, and at some point, I bring in Al Bunbury to play. I have Willie Mays on the team because even though in 73 he was kind of finished, I wanted him on my team because he's Willie Mays. So at some point, I said I should probably bring Bunbury in because he's better than Mays. I didn't mean career-wise. I meant in 1973 when one was, if not he might have been rookie of the year, Bunbury. I'm not sure about that, but I know it was his rookie year. And 73, Mays had one leg. So yeah, Bunbury was better. And by the way, in the game, just so you know, I beat him in the series in the 7th game.
Yeah.
And Willie Mays, right or wrong, did Willie Mays not have a great series, guy?
Oh, he hit what? 2 home runs? He had a tremendous series.
Right, exactly. So there you go. Superior manager over here.
My Willie Mays.
All right, back to Tim.
I have a million of those stories, but when I grew up in Bethesda, Maryland, 3,000 miles away from San Francisco, I saw Willie Mays play on TV a few times, and I was just completely lost in how this looked like the perfect baseball player to me. And this many years later, to me, he has the perfect build of a baseball player, 5'11", unbelievably strong, unbelievably fast. But the 65 All-Star game was just another seminal moment in my love for baseball. We had gotten a color television the day before the 65 All-Star game in Minnesota. We'd never had a color TV before. My dad gets it for it. And literally the first thing we watched on the new color TV, the only color TV, was the 65 All-Star game. And Willie Mays in living color with that perfect baseball body hit a home run to start the 65 All-Star game. So I didn't need any more ammunition that Willie Mays was my baseball hero and the greatest player I've ever seen. And then in the All-Star game, the first thing we ever watched on a color TV, he hit a home run. I just said to myself, this is it. This is when I know that this is what I want to do for a living. Someday I want to play in the big leagues. That didn't work. I was done after high school, but that's all I wanted to do. And Willie Mays was the biggest reason why I love the game.
Well, of course, now that you've brought up the 65 All-Star game and we're all baseball crazed people, I have to tell everybody the starting lineup for both.
I'm looking for it.
I have it. Willie Mays led off.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron batted second and right. Willie lineup. Willie Stargell left, bats third. Richie Allen, third base for the Phillies, bats cleanup. Joe Torre, catching. Ernie Banks, Pete Rose, Maury Wills, Juan Marichal. That's the
Noel Bunbury.
What's that? And Noel Bunbury. Thank you. American League, that I didn't care about back then because I was a Mets fan. Dick McAuliffe, Brooks Robinson. Actually, 65 was the year I was born. Brooks Robinson, Harmon Killebrew at first, Rocky Colavito in right, Willie Horton in left, Felix Mantilla at second, Vic Davaleo in center, Earl Batty, the great Twins catcher, and Milt Pappas from the Orioles was the starting pitcher in 65. I didn't know that. That's
and how
cool.
badly did the National League win that game?
6-5.
Oh, I don't know. 6-5.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that NL lineup is beyond stacked.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
Gibson
if
got
Vince
the
Scully
save.
calls you the greatest player ever,
Right.
then that's the
Yeah.
highest praise you can get. And that was one of the reasons why Vinny wanted to close his career out in San Francisco, was because A, he was a Giants fan as a kid, and B, because of Willie Mays, who we call the greatest player he ever saw. I really wish that Mays existed in at least some sort of kinescope form for a lot of that. Because San Francisco
Yeah.
didn't televise games. They did the 9 games down in LA. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, you can watch video for high school kids now. Their entire careers exist on YouTube, but you can't see Willie Mays. So, Tim, do you think that adds to people's legend when we actually can't see them, or because you've
interesting.
seen both sides of that? Oop, you're mute.
I think you
No.
might have muted.
Tim, you're muted.
I don't show him being muted.
We can. Oh,
might
you're
be
right. I don't
he
show
might
him
be
being muted
whispering.
All right,
either.
is that better?
Yep.
That's better.
Yeah, okay. All right. I just feel like at my age, 69, almost 70, it is my responsibility to make sure that people know who these great players were. And Mark, when I wrote that story on Willie Mays' 90th birthday, it's maybe my favorite story I've ever written, because all I did was just call as many people as I can. Most of them were Hall of Famers, and every single one of them had a story about Willie Mays. I just essentially ran a list of quotes from each guy. I barely wrote the story. I just quoted it. It was like an oral history of Willie Mays' career. Joe Torre told me once that Willie was having a conversation with him in the batter's box, and he's like talking to Joe Torre while the pitch is coming in, telling him about a restaurant. You got to go to this place. I went the other night. And then Willie hits a home run while literally speaking to Joe Torre, the catcher. And while he starts his run to first, he turns back at Joe Torre and says, "I'll finish that story in the next at bat." That's how great Willie Mays was. So when I called all these guys, Reggie Jackson, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, all of them, tell me your best Willie Mays story, there was never, ever a problem with them coming up with something fantastic. That's how great Willie Mays was.
You know, you've had, and we want to talk about your career, obviously, of course. And you've had an opportunity to interview, you know, pretty much everybody. As somebody also who's done, you know, the one person that I was kind of starstruck when I had a chance to meet him was Brooks Robinson. Like, I was able to, I mean, and he's like he was the nicest person in the world. But when you meet somebody who means that much to you, you know, you're not sure what to say, how to say it. Have you ever had that experience with a player that you just felt like, I can't do this?
Yeah, 1 year at the Hall of Fame, I interviewed Hank Aaron and Willie Mays at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
My producer came to me and said, "You got Willie and Hank together?" And I was scared to death. I had talked to both of them before, but this wasn't but this was a real interview, and I'm in the middle of maybe the 2 greatest living players. So fortunately, it went really well. And then my producer said, "You get Ted Williams next." So now I'm going to interview Ted Williams. Now, I had talked to Ted Williams a couple of times, but never in an interview. Now, fortunately, this was taped. This is a long story. I'm going to make it quick. My producer says to me before I talk to Ted Williams, he says, "You get 2 minutes, 3 questions. That's it." I get Ted Williams, and he has a 2-minute time limit on this.
Ted Williams.
The first 2 questions he answers seamlessly. It was so good. And that was the year that Nolan Ryan was going into the Hall of Fame. So the third question I asked to Ted was, if you faced you in your prime, Nolan Ryan in his prime, tell me how you would approach that at bat. And Ted Williams goes, "It's a great question, but the guy I really want to face is Randy Johnson." So he goes on for literally 5 minutes talking about how he would approach an at-bat against Randy Johnson.
Wow.
And I promise you, fellas, it was the greatest 5 minutes in the history of television. But because the interview was only allowed to go 2 minutes, I had a producer in the background going like this, cut,
over and over.
cut.
Right.
And this is Ted Williams, my father's baseball hero growing up. I could tell you 1,000 Ted Williams stories. And my producer was telling me to be rude to Ted Williams. And
not a good plan.
Not a chance. So I let him finish the answer, which was as good an answer as I've ever seen. But because now the interview is 7 minutes long, ESPN didn't use anything but the first 2 questions. The third question is still on the cutting room floor somewhere. Ted Williams talking
so it
about
does exist.
It
does
exists.
exist.
I doubt we could ever find it because it never made air. But
Right.
that was the day where I said to myself, if my father could see me right now, in between Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, and 10 minutes later, I'm talking to Ted Williams, it simply cannot get any better than that.
Did you write about that? 'Cause I remember seeing that story. That I thought that Ted had a dream later in life. He had a dream that he was facing Randy Johnson. He woke up talking about how he was going to face Randy Johnson. So I thought that was the story.
Yeah, but Ted had a lot of stories, and Ted, as you guys may know, was, he was a rough, gruff man to deal with, and
pilot.
yeah,
One of those guys.
he was an amazingly intelligent, observant man, and he was curious about everything. But it used to be when you went to the Hall of Fame, when the induction was over. Now everybody leaves like right after the induction and goes home, or they go home first thing Monday morning. But back then, this is 30 years ago, each Hall of Famer had to stay and sit at a table, and everyone in the media was allowed to go sit at anybody's table that they wanted. There's DiMaggio over there. There's Warren Spahn over there, Willie Mays over there, and there's Ted Williams' table. So Dan Shaughnessy sits down with about 4 other people with Ted Williams, and nobody says a word for 45 seconds, which seems like 45 minutes.
Sure.
And Ted Williams looks at the 5 writers and said, "Scared to death, aren't you?" And they all kind of said, "Yes, we're scared to death to talk to you because you are Ted Williams." That's how big Ted Williams was in his day, and that's how revered he was until the day he died. And with all due respect to football players and basketball players, I really believe one of the separating points for baseball is the great players from 50, 100 years ago could still play today. And there is no doubt in my mind that day in 1999 when Ted Williams was at Fenway for the All-Star game. And thanks to Ripken and Tony Gwynn, they all huddled around Ted Williams and just talked to him about the game. And he looked at Mark McGwire and said, "When you really crush one, can you smell the smoke coming off of your bat?" And like McGuire's like, hubba hubba, I don't even know what to say because this is Ted Williams. Paul Molitor told me he went to a luncheon once for a bunch of batting title winners. All right. So he walks in the room and he's thinking to himself, what am I doing here to begin with? He looks over in the corner and Ted Williams is talking to Joe DiMaggio.
Oh my
but
God.
the second that Molitor walks in, Ted Williams blows off Joe DiMaggio and runs over to Paul Molitor, like grabs his arm and says, "God, I love to watch you hit. Okay,
Wow.
2-0 count. Are you looking for a slider from this guy in the situation?" And Paul Molitor is going, "Oh my God, the greatest hitter of all time just ran over here, blew off Joe DiMaggio so he could talk to me." He said, "I didn't even know what to say. I just blubbered my way through like 10 minutes with Ted Williams. I don't even know what I said. I was so intimidated."
You mentioned like baseball, that it is the sport where you could go back 50 years, 100 years, and there'd be some challenges, but they could learn to hit the fastball. We talk about that a lot on this show, and I think that's one of the reasons why baseball is so overwhelmingly popular in the hobby. I mean, well, first of all, it's because the hobby kind of started with it. It started with APBA and then Strat, and if you go back like All-Star Baseball or something, the football games, the hockey games, all kind of came later. But also, it's because there's a direct lineage, and there is a connection. The 1930s to the 2020s. You feel like you could have that matchup in an APBA game, and it would be legitimate. Do you agree with that, Tim?
Yeah, I do. And I'm in the vast minority on this. I'm sorry. I really think Hannes Wagner would play shortstop for any team he wanted to right now if we gave him 6 months to figure out how the game is played. We give him a real baseball glove to wear. We show him 10 million sliders, 10 million splitters. As you guys know, he weighed 185 pounds. I mean, Ty Cobb weighed 85 pounds. These guys,
Lou Gehrig.
Yes, Lou Gehrig was huge.
The monster.
Of course he was. Jimmy Fox's nickname was the Beast. I'm not saying Willie Keeler would be a star today. He looks like me. I'm saying the biggest, strongest, and best players from that era, from the early 1900s, I really believe could play today. And the fact that I went to Walter Johnson High School in Bethesda, Maryland, and I wore my Walter Johnson High School pullover fleece just for you knuckleheads tonight, I really believe that he could have pitched in the major leagues today and been dominant. Shirley Povich, the great baseball writer, who's in the Hall of Fame in the same club that I am. Oh my God, what an honor that is for me. He told me once, he said, I saw Bob Feller, I saw Nolan Ryan, and I'm telling you, nobody threw harder than Walter Johnson. Now, I don't believe that, but I also don't believe people who say that Walter Johnson was throwing 82 miles an hour because no one could hit a fastball back then.
Right.
I'm not buying it. I think he threw exceptionally hard, and anyone who faced him would tell you the same thing. And yet, there are so many people who think I'm crazy, that Curt Schilling, I know he did this on the air to me once just to get my goat, but he told me on the air that Matt Stairs was better than Babe Ruth. And I didn't even know what to say. I said, Schill, if he's better than Babe Ruth, I have wasted the last 50 years of my life trying to explain to people who came before us in this game. And then he told me that Mark Lemke was better than Rogers Hornsby. And I had to say that's impossible. It's impossible for you to say that. But some people actually believe that. I've had people tell me many times John Olerud was way better than Babe Ruth. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying. I love John Olerud. He was a great player. I'm just saying if we gave Babe Ruth all of the positives of today, he would figure out how to hit something thrown at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and you can't really do that with other sports like basketball or football because the size difference is so dramatic and the speed difference is so dramatic, and and the training and all that. We all love to play these what if scenarios even in football, but the reality is playing the 1962 Packers against pick a team of the 21st century, as good as they were, they would be creamed. That would be a joke, but that wouldn't be the case in baseball.
No, it wouldn't, because as you guys know, this is the ultimate skill sport. It's a very athletic sport, but the skill required to hit a baseball, to throw a baseball, is something that isn't dependent on how big or fast you are necessarily. And with all due respect, if they had rolled George Mikan out to center court at the All-Star game in 1999, Shaquille O'Neal would have looked at him and said, I would have dunked all over this guy. And he probably would have. Right. But those pitchers and those players, I'm telling you, I talked to 20 of them that day. They all knew deep down inside, if Ted Williams in his prime was playing in the 99 All-Star game at Fenway Park, he would have been the best hitter on the field.
Definitely. So obviously, guys, I've got a lot more questions. I want to talk about Tim's career a little bit as a sports writer and a commentator. Do you guys have anything for Tim right now?
I was watching before this some YouTube videos of other players doing impersonations of you, and you've got a great sense of humor, and it's great that other the sincere, or what's the saying they say? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Right?
Yeah. So I thought that was great. I know you say now that your career has progressed and you may have more time in your hands, are you aware of all the other different baseball board games out there other than just Strat and APBA?
I'm not, and I'm sure they're great. But again, I have 5 grandchildren. I have 2 children. I have a dog. I have so much work to do on a daily basis. I have 2 full-time jobs because the podcast has become a full-time job, and I'm still a full-time employee at ESPN that I just have not had time to look at anything else. And I haven't played Strat-o-Matic in 10 years since my son left the house. So I'm hopelessly behind on this, but it's just because my life is a little too busy. It has nothing to do whether I love the games. I do. I just don't have time to play them when I'm taking, grandchildren to school and picking them up every single day.
All right. Well, I got 2 words for you.
I got a question.
APBA Go. It's browser based. You can do it on your computer. You can finish a game in 15 minutes and then go play with a grandkid. Just
Really?
throwing it out there as an option.
Well, I'm older than you guys, but I still need the dice in my hand.
You can do that. You can do that.
I still need to be able to write down the score in my scorebook. I still need to be able to, the cards need to be in my hands. Everything I do, I still need a hard copy for. When I go on an airplane, I have to have a printed boarding pass in my hand. Otherwise, I get nervous that I'm going to get up there with the QR code or whatever it's called on my phone, and suddenly it doesn't work. And now I'm holding up 50 people in line because I'm too stupid to figure out the technology. So yes, I'm sure it's a great game, but I enjoy reading the box scores still. And that's the game I play now, is going through those as I have for the last 60 years,
Right.
looking for fun things that might lead to something else.
Michael, you had a question?
First of all, we're both the same age, Tim, so I think we both look pretty good for 69. I have a question. Are you aware, and you don't have to name players, of any modern day players that are playing Strat-o-Matic or APBA?
Naming them would be better.
I don't know anybody who has, because to me, just like Mark said, this is all done online. It's all done on your computer. Players today are not like me. They do everything on their phone, everything on their computer. This goes for my son and every other young person out there. So the thought of a baseball player like opening up his bag and showing me, hey, look, I got the new APBA cards in the mail today. I think those days are over. But now you've got me curious. And the next time I go somewhere, maybe I'll ask somebody, hey, do you have any Strat-o-Matic cards? I think I'm going to get that quizzical look from them, like, what in the world is that? We know what that is, but they're too busy doing a million other things on their phones and their computers.
So let's talk, a little bit, obviously, about this illustrious career that you've been blessed to have for decades. What was it like growing up in the industry or starting out in the industry? We're talking the very early 80s. And how do you compare that to some of the changes we see today? Now, of course, the obvious one is technology, right? Of course, cell phones and not having to run to a phone with a deadline. But even more of the subtle differences in terms of, how broadcasters or commentators, analysts, writers, do they approach the game differently than they did? Do they look at the game differently than they did, let's say, in the early mid-'80s?
Yeah, I started in 79, did a little bit then, more in 80, a lot more in 81, and then full-time baseball beat writer in 82. But the big difference, and this is sad for me, back then, I would sit next to Earl Weaver on the bench at a major league, before a major league game for half an hour. Sometimes it was just me and him. And I would talk to him about everything I could. Now, the manager comes into some antiseptic interview room and talks to 40 people at the same time. And he simply isn't going to give you any nuggets when 40 people are going to get it and disseminate it all over the country. So
Right.
that's the biggest thing that I miss, is having the access that we used to have in the clubhouse. I would go in there for an Oriole game, 7 o'clock game at 3:30, and I would stay in there, even though I'd go out to the field also, until 6:30. Now you go to a clubhouse and you get 45 minutes, and most of the players are not at their locker. And this isn't some angry, bitter, cynical old man complaining. I'm just saying this is how it works. And back then, guys were standing at their locker, and you could just go up to almost anyone and talk to them. It was great. And, knowing Earl Weaver the way I did, by the way, the first time I met Earl Weaver, I shouldn't tell you this story, but
Yes, you absolutely.
I was about 12 years old, and I was at the Washington Star. Dan Shaughnessy was our baseball writer, and I was going to be his backup for the 1980 season. And he introduces me to Earl and says, "Earl, this is Tim. He's going to be covering a few games when I miss him." So Earl looks at me and says, "Fuck you, Tim," and walks away. And I almost started to cry that I'm the youngest guy covering baseball, the greatest manager in the game, and one of the 5 greatest managers of all time, just F-bombed me. And Dan, who's right in the middle of us, Earl walks away, and Dan says, "Yeah, that's what Earl does for all the people that he really likes." And I said, "Really likes? He just met me 3 seconds ago." So as it turned out, I covered Earl every day with the 86 Orioles. I spent an enormous amount of time with him. The stuff I learned from him was something I quote him all the time today. 40 years later, I am still quoting things that Earl Weaver told me a long time ago, because it was important then and it's important now.
Trying to remember how good the Orioles were in '86. I know in '88, that's the year where they remember they lost the first 23 games in a row or something.
They lost their first 21 games.
21.
After number 18, Frank Robinson took the writers out to dinner in Minneapolis. Never asked us out before, never again. And about halfway through dinner, Frank, I think, just needed some support. Halfway through dinner, I say to Frank, "Anyone interesting called you during this losing streak?" And he goes, "Yeah, the president called me today." Now, Frank was a big kidder, so I pushed him 3 times on this, and he said, "Damn it, the president of the United States called me today." I said, "Frank,
Reagan?
what did he say?"
Bush. It would have been
Bush.
Bush.
I said,
Reagan.
It was Reagan. And
Reagan.
80. Oh, yeah, no, it would be Reagan. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, "Frank, what did he say?" He said, "Frank, I know what you're going through." And Frank said, "Mr. President, you got no idea what I'm going through." So I covered some really bad teams in Baltimore. The 86 team was like 2 games out of first place in the first week of August. They hit 2 grand slams in one game against the Rangers, and they lost 13-11.
Oh,
And that's what started a 14-42 slide the rest of that season. Terrible in 87, unbelievably bad in 88, and then almost made the playoffs in 89. But I went back and wrote about that game. I wrote about that 13-11 game when the Orioles got good again in 89. Like, this is when the misery began. The night that they were ahead 11-6 and lost 13-11 despite hitting 2 grand slams. And I remember I quoted Fred Lynn and Jim Dwyer, 2 guys on that team who both told me, we had a discussion after that game, like, this is a really bad omen for this team. Even though they were only 3 games out of first place, he said, this is a bad sign. And it was the worst sign ever.
I would imagine covering baseball, it's 162 games. And when you're a baseball beat writer, I mean, it's a Herculean task in some ways to do that night after night after night and day after day. Do you find as a beat reporter that you can sense when teams are going to, I'm thinking about the Orioles of this year, as a matter of fact. This is a team that's been kind of up and down. They just took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. I'm sure they're riding that high. But are you able to see from, sort of your place in the press box, teams that seem like they're going to get it together or teams that are going to fall apart, strictly from your perspective as a writer, as a reporter?
Well, it's really hard to see that stuff unless you're there every day. Like
Right.
the Nationals in 2019 were 19-31, and I did not see them coming out of nowhere to win the World Series. 2 years ago, the Tigers came to Williamsport for the Little League Classic. They were terrible, under 500, zero chance of going to the playoffs. Then they got smoking hot. Made the playoffs, beat the Astros in a playoff series. Did not see that coming. Unless you're there every day, you just don't know. And I'm telling you, fellas, I was there on opening day of 89. So the Orioles just had the worst 56 games to end the 86 season. 87, they lost. 95, they lost well over 188. And on opening day of 89, with a whole different team. They changed their entire outfield. They recognized we have to change everyone. They traded Eddie Murray. They were down 4-1 to the Red Sox on opening day at Memorial Stadium. And Cal Ripken Jr. hit a 3-run homer off of Roger Clemens in the 7th inning. And they won in the 10th inning on a sacrifice fly by Craig Worthington. And I'm telling you, fellas, the entire clubhouse figured it out. We don't stink anymore. One game changed the way that they looked at it, because they said we would have lost that game, 6-1 every day for the last 3 years. But something happened on opening day. We got to Clemens. Ripken had the big hit. We won that game. And I'm telling you, the whole season turned on opening day. Sounds ridiculous. I believe in that stuff, but only when you're around the team every day to see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tim, we don't want to keep you much longer. We do want to talk about your podcast. Is this a great game or what? I've listened to quite a few episodes now. The chemistry that you have with your son is tremendous. And I know maybe it sounds easy. Well, of course I do. He's my son. Trust me, I did stuff with my dad. It's not always the case. You guys really play nicely off each other. You compliment each other, and your guests. I mean, you had an episode with Johnny Bench that I think I could listen to that 3 times in a row and be totally content. Mike Toomey, the scout. I thought that interview was absolutely phenomenal. Talk about Mike Toomey a little bit, because he's a really fascinating guy.
Yeah, Mike Toomey played baseball at George Washington University. He coached at George Washington. He was the manager of the Alexandria Dukes when I covered that team for the Washington Star. And it was a co-op team, and it was so bad that there were at least 3 games where Mike Toomey, the manager, had to play in the game. And so did his hitting coach, Elwood Holland, because they didn't have enough players to field a team in a professional baseball game, a minor league game. So Mike Toomey has become the best scout that I've ever been around. The things he knows, the things he teaches me. He can teach Tony Gwynn how to hit, and he can teach a 7-year-old how to hit, and everyone in between. And the stories he has told me. My second book, I had a chapter on scouts. And I went to Toombs and I said, Toombs, you're coming to my house. We're going to sit down for 2 hours. You're going to tell me all of your favorite scout stories, including the one when he's doing the pre-draft interview with a kid, and he says to the player, because he needs to know, who is this kid? How's this kid's mind works? And he says, what is your church preference? And the kid said, red brick. And that, as Toombs said, that's not a red brick. That's a red flag that maybe we shouldn't be going after this kid. Mark, I'm so happy you love that one, because we waited 3 years to get Toombs on. He's one of my best friends in the whole world. And I finally said, Toombs, you're doing this. We're doing it together. But the reason our podcast works is that my son Jeff is a polished radio guy in Philadelphia. Yeah. He does music talk every morning, and he doesn't know everything about baseball. In fact, he doesn't know a lot about baseball. He loves baseball, but he doesn't know a lot. So when I tell him a story about Stan Musial or about Reggie Jackson or about anybody, there's a good chance he hasn't heard it. So he's going to laugh or he's going to be amazed because he doesn't know this.
Right.
If everything I said he already knew, then he would have no reaction whatsoever. Plus, I've made this clear. I know about baseball, basketball, and sitcoms from the 60s. That's all I know about anything.
Not even the 70s, just the
No,
60s?
well, something early 70s. He knows everything about so many things: pop culture, music, technology, all that. So we're a really good couple, because I know stuff that he doesn't know, and he knows so many things that I don't know.
Well, the next time you come on, we're going to do an hour on F Troop. And that'll be
All right. I mentioned Dan Shaughnessy, my mentor in the business, multiple times, and he says F Troop is the greatest sitcom ever. And that just, I mean, here's a guy who just won the Red Smith Award. He's in the Hall of Fame for baseball writing, and F Troop is his favorite sitcom ever. And I loved it. It's just not my favorite. Get Smart is the greatest sitcom ever.
Is the greatest.
Right,
I completely agree with you. I don't even know if you guys would all know F Troop, because it was like, to me, it was syndication.
I'm too young for F Troop.
But you're too young, and Ron, you might be too young for F Troop also.
Right.
I know
and Mark, just to finish this ridiculous discussion, my
Sure.
3-year-old granddaughter, Emma, went to preschool yesterday, to a new school for the first time. And she'd been in another preschool, but now she's switching schools, and this school requires her to bring a lunchbox. So my daughter calls me and says, I don't have a lunchbox for Emma. So I said, I have one. So I bring over my Get Smart lunchbox.
That's the hippest
And
3-year-old in the world.
my 3-year-old granddaughter carried a Get Smart lunchbox into her preschool yesterday. And I promise you, there wasn't one person there that had any idea what this was, because everyone there is in their 20s and 30s, and I'm 70. And so I have a picture of my daughter with her Get Smart lunchbox, and it will be something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Tim, I don't know if you're a Facebook guy or not, but Barry Livingston is a great follow on Facebook. Ernie from My Three Sons.
Really? That is amazing. I was devoted to My Three Sons, All in the Family, Dick Van Dyke Show, McHale's Navy, Gilligan's Island. Those were my shows in the 60s, but nothing, and I mean nothing, was better than Get Smart.
I would say maybe the greatest show of all time. I would definitely put that in the conversation.
That's amazing, Mark, that 2 people out of 7 here would agree, because I've asked this question to hundreds and hundreds of people. One of my editors, one of my best editors at Sports Illustrated, David Bauer, said Green Acres is the greatest sitcom of all time.
Compared to Get Smart?
Right. That's what the point is, it depends what your sense of humor is, what show you used to watch growing up, where you were when you used to see it. So that's the beauty of sitcoms, is that you ask 200 people, you will get 100 different answers to your favorite sitcom.
I don't even know who came up with Green Acres. I do know that Mel Brooks and Buck Henry, 2 of the greatest comedy geniuses of all time, came up with Get Smart. So I don't want to hear the Green Acres talk anymore. That's just ludicrous. That's no different than Matt Stairs' Babe Ruth.
That's
absolutely no different.
Mark Lemke and Rogers Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby hit 400 for a 5-year period. Sorry,
Tim. I have to ask you about Shaughnessy. I love Shaughnessy. I'm a Red Sox fan. I subscribe to the Boston Globe. I still read him today. But he's your mentor. You guys have very different, I would say, in terms of relationships with players. I can't find many players that probably would like Dan Shaughnessy, and it seems like you have a really good relationship with current players and past players, the access you have. Is it a different approach you have, or is it kind of, in terms of how did you differ from kind of how Shaughnessy goes about things? Let's put it that way.
He showed me how to do the job, but we have my nature ultimately is different than his, and he is the most fearless writer in America, which is why he won the Red Smith Award. I will be presenting him with that on July 17th. So he taught me so much about what we needed to know, what I needed to know in this business. But the only story you need to know about Dan Shaughnessy, and this is all he cares about, is he was on a flight once with the Celtics. And Scott Wedman's wife came up to him on the flight and said, "I hate your guts." and then she paused and said, "But God, you're a great writer." And that's all he cares about, is the second part of that. He doesn't care if you like him or hate him. But if you don't respect what he does for a living, that's when you could really hurt him. Everybody respects what he does because A, he's a great writer, and B, he is fearless.
Well, the podcast is great. I listen to 3 podcasts mainly. Scott Van Pelt and Stanford Steve, because
who you've had on, I think,
I relate
right?
to them all the time. They're my age. Tony Kornheiser, because that's my dad. I listen to my dad all the time. And then you and your son. Okay, now all 3 of what do the 3 podcasts have in common? Do you guys know? What do they have in common?
Washington.
They're all from Washington D.C., DMV area, I guess you can say. And so,
where they're from, you mean?
yeah, I mean, Van Pelt
right,
lives
Van
in
Pelt's,
is
yeah,
in,
right,
is in
right,
Washington D.C. Kornheiser's from Bethesda's Bagels, and of course Tim and Jeff and Tim's from that area too. But great podcast. What I love about the podcast is it talks about current baseball, the current events in baseball, and then you always attach it back to history. Like, as you say, you're teaching your son, here's a story, we're talking about Tarek Skubal today. Here's a story about, 19, so it's a great, for baseball nerds, for seam heads. It's a really good, it's funny too. The rapport you guys have, it's a really, really good podcast. So if you guys have not heard it yet, baseball fans, it is definitely a one to subscribe to and to listen to. I look forward to every time an episode drops. I listen to my car, after I driving to work and so forth. It's a really good podcast. So thank you again for being here, Tim.
And of course,
my pleasure.
Okay, Tim. And it's called Is This a Great Game or What? You can find it, I'm sure, on all, on iHeart, on all the various streaming platform or podcast platforms. There's also a YouTube channel that's growing, and that is sort of a companion to the podcast, and you can find that at Great Game or What. So YouTube /@ Great Game or What. Did I get that right, Tim? I think I did.
Yes, you did. Although my son obviously is the technical expert on sending things out, where to find things. I just provide the content. He tells me where to put the microphone, and we're off. That's how it works.
Easy to find. How many episodes now? It's 100 and something, right?
Yeah, we're our 3rd year in, and we've done about 30 episodes this year. So we're well over 100, and we got picked up by Foul Territory. So now we're part of a podcast group.
Oh, that's great.
The show is growing, but most important, without being corny, I get to work with my own son on something, and we've always wanted to do something like this. We waited and waited for the perfect time, and hopefully this is the perfect time.
And your daughter for a couple episodes too. We learned about Kelly's free throw shooting.
Yeah, we had
episode.
Kelly Kurkjian on. I wanted to keep it as a relationship show, and my daughter is very well spoken. She's very good in front of people. She's and as I told everyone, within 5 minutes of her appearance on the podcast in high school, she made 54 out of 56 free throws her senior year in high school. And I probably tell somebody that once a day in my life because I'm so proud of how well she did. So she will be filling in again if Jeffrey is in a bind with his brand new Bodie Bell, who's only 2 weeks old. Kelly is our backup co-host, and she wants to do it again, and Jeffrey is all in favor of it, and so am I.
Now, you said that Jeff plays Strat, right?
Jeffrey and I played Strat a lot, but when he was 8, 9, 10 years old, he's 32 now. And with a 2-year-old,
he's not
now
doing
a
anything.
2-week-old.
Right. No,
he's not happening.
He's down for the count, as they say.
Yeah. Right. He'll play again when he's about 58.
Right. That's what a lot of people in this hobby. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, hey, Tim, we really appreciate having you on. This was an amazing hour for us. Hope you enjoyed it as well. And we'd love to do it again sometime.
Well, nice to be on with you guys. It's really fun just to talk baseball, and I love talking about APBA and Strat-o-Matic. To repeat for the last time, it was instrumental in me understanding and recognizing the game that I cover today. So it wasn't just some fun little game I played. It was very helpful to me later on.
Well, you said something that struck me about, at least at a certain period during a certain period of time. It seems like a lot of sports writers and maybe commentators. You mentioned John Miller, but I would imagine there's quite a few others who are also Strat heads or APBA fans.
Right. There are a bunch
Bob
of them.
Costas, I know Bob.
Yes.
Costas.
Oh, absolutely. A bunch of them. But again, when Keith Hernandez comes out and tells us how much he loves it, that's even more important, because he had better things to do trying to play pro ball than play Strat-o-Matic. So
well, again, thank you so much, Tim, and we'll talk soon, I hope.
Okay, fellas, thanks for tonight. I'll talk to you later.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Well, that was pretty tremendous.
That was awesome.
Wow. That was great. That was great.
Yeah. Nice work, gentlemen, and you guys in the chat. I did post a poll last night about sports sim memories, and I do want to kind of read some of those. I didn't want to read it during the interview because obviously we wanted to focus on Tim. What I'm going to do now is take my break. Pesky, you're going to set up PC Replay Baseball, and we are going to be playing a greatest franchise matchup.
Am I playing John?
You're playing John, yeah.
Okay.
John's going to take the greatest Yankees. Pesky's going to take the greatest Red Sox. I'm rooting for a lightning to strike everybody on the field, and the game get called. But I'm sure you guys have a rooting interest. We just happen to be playing the two teams I probably hate the most.
In honor of Ron, I'm rooting for a 15-inning game.
There you go.
All right, I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
All right. So tell me what the so it's a franchise best then?
Yeah, let me see if I can get this going here.
I'll write my.
It's franchise. Can you see that?
No.
I could listen to him all day.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh, he was great.
Let me see.
He was great.
Maybe
Oh, I can barely see. Here, let me make yours the let me add it to the state. There you go.
There you go. Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and set up exhibition.
Are we playing with DH?
We'll play the DH. Yes.
All right.
Let's play. We're playing in Fenway Park. I mean, we want to play in a good ballpark, don't we? So let's play.
Yeah. Yeah, Fenway sounds good.
So
Yeah, please go with Whitey Ford, John, if we're going to play Fenway.
Oh, I'll
We'll go.
definitely start that then.
We'll go New York.
I don't think he's one of the all-time greats.
I know we could do 78, but let's not do that. Let me see here. Boston.
There you go. I can go full so much
right.
better.
All right. So see that. All right. And make sure. I got to make sure we do option wise. That. Boop. I want to make sure we can do steals because I have it set up. Oh, hold on, I can do it back in there. All right.
You know, John, you brought up a good point. He'd be great for like D2D. Have him as a guest on one of the
Oh my
days.
goodness! When we had our seasons past baseball, we had one of our drafts at Cooperstown at the Otasaga Hotel in one of the ballrooms there, and our guest speaker we had Jeff Katz speak. He at the time was the mayor of Cooperstown, but he's the one that wrote Split Season about the 1981 season.
I think
So
I interviewed
we had
him a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, we had a Q&A and a really good back and forth with him before our draft started. And then we had a white glove tour of the Hall of Fame after the draft. So that was
Oh my goodness.
that was incredible. That was incredible. So, let's see here. Oh, I gotta start Bear over Munson.
There you go. I think he's muted. Did you mute yourself
Who?
there, Mike?
Oh, I'm sorry. So manually steal bases I have there. If you play this game, how I play the game is I let the dice decide if they're going to attempt to steal one base.
Okay.
And some people hate that because sometimes you'll steal a base when you're not supposed to steal a base, but otherwise I won't steal bases because I play, I just won't steal bases. So I have that checked, just so we'll have that in there. So let's go ahead and default lineup. So first of all, here's your Yankee lineup. Who do you want to pitch there? As you can see.
I'm going to go with Guidry.
I'm going to go with Guidry.
Yeah, he's
Louisiana
got to be one of my favorite.
All right, so Guidry's there. And then lineup wise, what I can do here first, this is what I always do. I do the AI lineup, and then we can kind of go from there and tell me who you want to take out. So that's the AI lineup.
All right.
Right.
See, Reggie Jackson is not an option.
He's
so
not.
No, he's not. Mattingly was actually my 1 and 1A with Reggie and the DH. Okay, I do have Jeter playing short. I had A-Rod at third. Okay, I got Ruth, DiMaggio, and Mantle in the outfield. Okay, I got Berra catching and Lazzeri. Let's put what's Lazzeri's average?
Lazzeri.
Does he have his stats?
At least we can pull this up.
How's it going, guys?
There's Lazzeri. Lazzeri.
I think I'm going to leave this.
Oh, he's in the lineup, so it wouldn't show.
Yeah.
Can you click on his card and it'll show up?
Now that shows up. 15 homers, 92
There it goes.
ribbies.
Okay,
He's
I'll keep
15.
him. Yeah, I'll keep him there. That's fine.
Okay.
I do want to read some of these sports memories from some of our fans, guys. So before we play, we'll do that, okay?
Put Ruth in the lineup. Cleanup ahead of DiMaggio. Put move A-Rod up above Berra. And that looks okay.
I'm hearing a lot of breathing from somebody. A lot of nasal issues.
It's Pesky.
Yeah, his microphone thing is like right parallel to his nose.
I'll put it down. Is that good for you, John?
What's that? That's good. Yep.
They're good. Okay. All right.
Yep.
And now, for the next hour,
I'm going to go with.
we're going to listen to the inside of Pesky's nostrils.
I'm going to go with Pedro. Hold on.
Sounds to fall asleep to.
There we go. Hold on a second.
Tim was great, wasn't he?
Oh, it was great. That was awesome.
Wonderful.
Let me do.
God, I hate these two teams.
How do you hate these?
I said before though, man, this 77 APBA Go World Series that I'm doing, I cannot begin to tell you. Every game has been incredible. The Yankees won the first 3. Every game there's been comebacks. It was just game 6. Dodgers were up by 3, bottom of the 9th. Greg Nettles, 2 outs. What do I roll? 2 guys on. The 6-6 ties it up, bottom of the 9th. That's happened like 4 times in this series.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the Dodgers then ended up winning the game. I almost said in overtime, in extra innings. So there's actually a game 7. There's a chance the Dodgers, I think that would make them the first team. Like there's never been a team that's come back from 3-0 in the World Series, right?
Not in the World Series.
Yeah.
No.
So if it happens, it'll be the first time in not real history.
You having Bobby Thompson come up to be the last out for Branca.
Oh, I wanted to mention that on the on when Tim was with us, and I completely forgot.
I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, for those of you who might be interested, if you go to the playlist for Mark's Sports Blast, I did a game for Father's Day that was sort of in honor of my father, where I replayed the 1951 the third game of the 3-game series between the Giants and the Dodgers to see who would go on to the World Series against the Yankees. And it's a game that's famously known as the shot heard around the world. And I played it. And in the 9th inning, I guess I'm kind of giving it away. Should I not give it away? Or should I give it away, Ron? What do you think?
Yeah, give it away.
All right, I'll give it away.
Give it away.
So
give it away.
in
give it away
real
now.
life, the score was 4-1 in the bottom of the 9th. In my game, it was 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th. First two guys, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Dark and somebody else. Can't remember. Out. Then I think it was Mueller hit a base hit. So 2 outs, man on first, score 3-2. Branca on the mound for the Dodgers, and not because I just wanted to replay that, because he's the guy you would bring in. Bobby Thompson is up, and I get to roll that. And if I roll the home run, I have the shot heard round. I've literally played the shot heard round the world game, with the difference being they would have won 4-3 instead of what they did win in real life, which was 5-4. I roll it, ground out, game over. But honestly, one of the greatest, we're going to be talking about sports and memories now and reading some of these, even though this one is only from 3 days ago, I got to say it's definitely maybe on the top of my list of greatest sports and memories of all time. So let's get to the comments. Are you guys all set with what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right, let me just go ahead.
We're good. We got to set up.
All right, hold on. Go ahead. Say again?
No, I was just going to mention real time. Brandon Sproat. Has anybody ever heard of Brandon Sproat before?
Yeah,
he have the 5.43 ERA.
Yeah.
Just tossed 6 innings of 1 hit, no walk, 10 strikeout ball against the lousy Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, he came up with the Mets organization, and they traded him last year for Peralta. They kind of gave up on the kid. He's actually, he struggled early on with the Brewers, but he's supposed to be pretty decent, and maybe this is his way of turning things around.
So the poll question I threw out on the YouTube channel was, your greatest sports memory happened in what sport? And tell us in the comments what happened, and we'll read them on air tomorrow. So it was 67% baseball, 13% football, 20% hockey or other. Some of the comments, Dave Cislinski says, Dynasty League Baseball 2019 Draft League. I was down 2-0 in the World Series, scoring 1 run over 18 innings. It was not looking good. I then went on to win the next 4 games, scoring 39 runs for my first championship. A couple of golf comments here. Rob Scott, I get History Maker Golf. I peel off the shrink wrap, study the rules, and decide to christen my new purchase by taking Corey Connors. You guys heard of? I've never heard of that guy. Have you?
No.
Canadian golfer.
Yeah, well, he said fellow Canadian out to Augusta. First tee, I roll a special result. Excitedly, I flip to the appropriate chart and roll the dice. Drive goes OB. I start off my History Maker Golf experience with a double bogey. That's your greatest. Oh, okay, Rob, you might need a little help. P-Jet, 1972-73 WHA with Inside the Crease. Blazers are down. Philadelphia Blazers are down 3-0 in the quarterfinals to New England Whalers. Bertie Parent shaky in the Philly goal so far. The Blazers decide to go with 40-year-old backup Marcel Paillet. Is that right? P-A-I-L-L-E. Anybody know? Paillet, who last played in the NHL with the 64-65 Rangers. He stopped 66 of 68 shots as the Blazers win. Yeah, as the Blazers win 3-2 in the second overtime to stave off a New England sweep. Sports Time Machine talks about Ron Guidry, no hitter in a 1978 replay. That's a good one. D. Scott Howard, the day after golfing legend Byron Nelson died. When did Byron Nelson die?
A few years ago.
Yeah.
Only a few years ago?
10, 15, yeah.
Wouldn't he have? I thought he would have died like 40 years ago. Wasn't he a
No.
golfer in the 20s?
No, 40s.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, Bobby Jones, maybe. Is he 20s?
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby Jones is 20. Yeah, that's
what it
a
is,
long
okay.
time ago.
The day after golfing legend Byron Nelson died, I fired up APBA PC Golf to play a tribute round. Wait, APBA PC Golf? There's such a thing?
There was.
Lord Byron stepped up to the tee on the first par 3 of the day and knocked it straight into the hole for what is still the only hole-in-one I've ever had in APBA Golf. Prey Cruz, I've got 2, a perfect game in History Maker Express, a hole-in-one on the 6th, another golf story, on the 16th hole at Augusta in History Maker Golf using a player-created card for the first time.
Oh, nice.
Here's another golf. Wow, you guys love your golf. I mean, I like it too, but it's not going to be my favorite sports memory. Arnold Palmer at Augusta with History Maker Golf set the course record by a few strokes in a round on the back of 3 eagles and like 8 birdies. He
Holy
just got
crap.
every single roll, it felt like. Additionally, watching Dave Steeb lose a no-no in the 9th when rolling a game of Strat-o-Matic, it was the most Dave Steeb thing that could happen on the table. So there's some comments from the fans of the show. All right. So, Ron, you want to maybe trade off? We'll both kind of call this.
Sure.
You do the first 3, and then I'll do the next 3, and then you close us out or whatever.
So Roger Clemens on the mound. It'll be Jeter, Mattingly, Mantle, Ruth DiMaggio, A-Rod, Berra, Gehrig, and Lazzari. I mean, that's yeah. And for the Red Sox in the outfield, Ted Williams, the world's best DH, is in left. Freddie Lynn in center, and Dwight Evans in right. It's Boggs at third. Nomar, of course, at short. Johnny Pesky brooding. Dustin Pedroia at second, and Jimmy Fox is at first. Varitek over Carlton Fisk behind the plate, and Clemens, who will be on Sunday Night Baseball this week, by the way.
Nice.
How much air you got in them arms, Jimmy?
Ron, I
35
just
pounds.
have to say that I think this Red Sox team is built to lose.
Well, we have a good bench. We could use the bench. We got Fisk and Yaz, and so Page right of the bullpen. So we got a plan for this. We got a plan. So
Clemens
right.
will face 29 batters. Let's see how long he actually lasts. So Derek Jeter's ready.
here we go.
Okay, so I'm rolling. I got a black, a red, and a white. Am I
Well,
rolling?
no. Actually, Pesky, we're going to roll our own dice. It's the whole point of this.
You're muted.
Otherwise, it's just you playing computer.
All right. I just did. How do we input the thing in there? Hold on.
Oh, it's easy. You just use your number key, and you should be able to put it in.
Okay. Well,
Unless you have to have it set for. Have you never done that?
I don't do it that way. No,
Ever?
never.
Wow, that's kind of surprising. Well, let's see if you can do that. So, all right. So the first result is already in. So what happened?
There's a ground ball to short.
Yeah, no, you don't need to. Don't worry about we don't have to input the box score. All we're going to be doing is inputting.
You're going to manually put in the dice rolls.
Right, exactly. And then we may need to set for that, but maybe not. So, what's your next roll, John? And what happened on that play just now?
It was a ground ball to
It was
short.
ground out.
Okay, all right. So now roll your
Okay,
dice.
so how am I reading these?
You're reading this red, white, and whatever your third color is.
Okay, all right. 366.
All right. So, Pesky, try just hitting 366 and see what happens. I think you might have to set something. Does anything happen?
Yeah,
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there you go.
366.
Yeah, perfect. Now hit
Yep.
enter. There you go. And that's a bait. Well, go ahead, Ron.
Single.
It's a single to right for Mattingly. And that'll bring up Mickey Mantle.
So
Clemens
the stealing, you said we're going to let the game decide. How do we figure
No.
that
Yeah,
out?
you can set it for either. You can set it where the game handles all the stealing, which I think for the sake of this, for having never played, that's probably the better idea. But you can still call hit and run, sacrifice, things like
Right. Okay. 616.
That's a short fly ball to Lynn. He's going to make the catch, 2 out for Babe Ruth. Ruth stole 7 bases in 27.
325. I feel like a bingo caller.
That is a line drive to Nomar, who makes the
Nomi.
catch. And that will do. Yankees get a hit, leave a runner on after half an inning, no score.
Pesky, did you play like cards and dice baseball games when you were a kid, or have you always been computer?
No, I've always been cards and dice too, but yeah. But
'Cause I think one of the best things about replay baseball is the fact that you can roll your own dice. So I'm kind of surprised that you don't.
Well, usually I don't, because usually down here I've got about 3 animals and 4 kids running around, and my dice get taken for other things. So
Yes, but you got to take the other your blue die and drop it down the flight of stairs.
I know
That's
exactly.
a great story.
That was
That
a
is-
really great story.
That is.
That was a great
I mean,
story.
that will be on the highlight shorts.
So here's Boggs. Boggs played for both teams. So did Clemens.
That's right.
He forgot to eat his chicken before the game, though. Whatever.
No, but he drank 40 PBRs.
All right, let's roll the dice.
And so Boggs steps in. So does Guidry, who can face 30 batters.
No, Scott.
You're gonna roll the dice there, Mike.
I don't have the dice with me. I thought you were rolling dice.
Oh, you don't have any
Yeah,
dice of your
yeah.
own?
I just wasn't prepared for the dice rolling. I thought we were just doing
Okay. Then for you, do you want
He
me to
can
roll the
just-
dice? I'll
Yeah, I
roll
can
the dice
roll.
for you.
Yeah, you can. That's fine.
All right, I'll do it. Hold on. give me
All
a
right.
second here. What just
But Boggs does not strike out, does he?
All right.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe if you roll a 1-5.
All right, here we go. This is the sound of pesky rolling dice.
That's a pesky sound.
5-3-3.
And that is a walk. So Boggs
Actually,
goes.
this is the sound of pesky rolling the dice.
There that brings up Nomar.
Here we go, Nomar.
Yeah,
Here we go.
2-1-5.
Yankees playing halfway. Nomar grounds out to Guidry, and Boggs goes to second. Guidry takes it to the bag himself. And Boggs moves up to second, 1 out for Ted Williams.
Guidry pinch ran a lot when he was a player. He's got good
3-2-1.
speed.
3-2-1.
3-2-1.
That's going to be an out of some sort.
Line drive to Gehrig, 2 out.
Somebody want to explain the mechanics a little bit about the game, Pesky, so people who never played it kind of get a sense of what's going on here?
Well, in terms of the defense, if you look on the defense in the infield real quick. So the circled numbers, that's the range. Okay. So 1 on the infield, okay, is the best for range. 5 is horrible. So Rodriguez, for example, a 3 is pretty average. Air rating is 11 through 66. He's a 32. 66, of course, is perfect. 11 is a lot of errors, okay, when the error card comes up. That's the infield. The outfield is reversed in terms of range. So in the outfield, Mantle's a 3. The best is a 5. The worst is a 1. So DiMaggio there is a 5. The 4 and 42, the 4 is his arm. So the best arm is a 5. The worst arm is a 1. And then the 42 is the air rating, same as the infield. So DiMaggio is pretty good. He's got a 5 for a range, a 4 for an arm, a 42 for air rating. Babe Ruth is an average range, a decent arm, but if the air card comes up, he's probably make some errors at 22. So
And
that's
also,
kinda the defense.
if we don't have the die, I mean, I'm sorry, if we don't have the charts up, which you can actually, I think you can actually bring up the charts, can't you? Or no, Pesky, I can't remember.
I don't think you can bring up.
Just like the partial chart, I think it is. So explain to them real quick how, in fact, let's forget me rolling the dice. Why don't you roll the dice for yourself, Pesky? Just auto roll, and John will let you continue to roll. So it's better if you do it, Pesky.
Okay,
And
we
then
roll the dice.
explain what the roll means. Yeah.
So that's going in Jimmy Fox's column there. It's a ground ball to.
So the column is 5.
Yep.
right? But then tell them what the 2 and the 4 mean.
The 2 and the
Unless you're
4
not-
it's right there. So the 2, the column is 5 here. The 4 is in Guidry's line there. I'm not sure how you can see this guy up here.
So Fox's result is a 1 on a 5-2, and then Guidry will add 2 to that because
Right.
it's right from 1 to 5 is how the pitcher's cards work, and so that 1 turns into a 3, which in this case was still a ground ball to second inning over.
Right. Thanks. And as you can see, looking at Guidry's card, you see all those 1s? That's a really good thing.
The one column, that red 1 is a strikeout column, and Guidry and Clemens are going to have a ton of those, and I think there's a lot of strikeouts on 2 as well. 4 is ballpark, and 6 is power.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So end play.
We go to the second, no score. And
And
John's
John,
rolling.
You're
those.
rolling. Yep.
DiMaggio, A-Rod, and Berra. We've got a 6-1-2.
So that's a power check, and
1,
that's
2.
is that gone? No, Williams
Almost.
is there. Sticks out his tongue, 1 out.
Almost.
For A-Rod.
3-2-4.
That is a line drive to Nomar.
Nomar's there again.
And so Mia's letting him sleep in the house tonight. 2 out.
So Nomar's got he's a 2, which is pretty good, and 41.
I need some action on this game. What's the betting line? Who the pitchers? It's Clemens against.
How would you bet against the Yankees? Even as a Red Sox
Well,
fan, right?
it depends. It depends what the line is. I mean the money line. So who? It's Clemens against who?
Clemens and
Guidry.
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 Against Guidry. So I'm
But it's at
guessing,
home and fun away. It's
and
probably,
it's in Boston, so it's probably Boston's maybe -120. You think?
Yeah.
Well,
Please gamble responsibly. For gambling help, call the 1-800-CALL-MARK.
9418.
all the money I have in the world on the Yankees.
Box scores from the basement, sponsored by FanDuel.
Here you go.
Okay, who's up?
Over under's 5.
Yogi.
Yogi's
Oh
up.
yeah,
None on-
probably about 5. Yeah, 5 or
None
6.
on 2
5
out.
or 6.
Right.
Red. 1-2-3.
That's a strikeout. Nope, 36.
Nope.
Nope, ground ball to third. Boggs is there, drinks a chunks of beer.
Chicken man's got it.
It's hard to strike Berra out on his card, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because that guy never struck out.
Oh,
All
here we go.
right. So Ortiz, Pedroia, and Lynn to face Guidry here in the second.
Want to roll this way, my end?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5, 4, and 1.
Yep. That's a ground ball to A-Rod over to first. 1 out. For Pedroia. Little Petey. 32.
Excuse me.
Line drive to right. Ruth is there. 2 out.
Babe
Yeah.
got to it. He's being heckled.
Who's
in right
not
field.
nearly as good as
He
Matt
put his
Stairs.
beer down just to catch it.
That's
He's being
right.
heckled out there.
Matt Stairs would have had that too.
Right.
Here's Freddie Lynn.
I've got Lynn as a Tris Speaker. Probably not the best decision, but I like Fred Lynn better than Tris Speaker. What can I say?
That's a good way to lose ball games.
Lynn, ground ball to
Like putting your
Rodriguez.
daughter at all the time.
So after 2, no score.
Unless your daughter's the best player on the team, then by all means you
That's
should.
right. Pitcher's duel.
If she's a shortstop or a point guard, she's the best player on the team.
4-3-5.
For Garrett, that is a ground ball to Fox, and that's an out.
3 unassisted.
So Clemens and Guidry matching zeros here for Lazari.
4-5-5.
That is a ground ball to Fox, 2 out.
Jimmy getting some action today.
It was interesting to hear that that Tim called Keith Hernandez the best defensive first baseman ever.
I know.
That's pretty high
Well,
praise.
But you know, I mean, who would?
I'm not going to disagree with it.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to
4-4-1.
think, and as we were talking, who, if it's not him, then who? And I don't know who you would,
Yeah.
who you'd come up with.
I mean, Mattingly's up there. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
That was a big debate in New York back in the 80s.
Right,
Who
it
better
was, yeah.
player? Yeah.
4-4-1.
But of course, Manley's DHing tonight, so that just tells you right there.
Right.
4-4-1.
Right.
That Gehrig was a scrub. Ground ball to second. PD over to first. And that will do. So Clemens, a one-hitter through 3. Top of the lineup for Dwight Evans.
I think Dewey's going deep right here. I just got a feeling it's a good matchup. Guidry, Evans. I think he's going deep right here.
Not with that roll, he's not.
Right.
But he draws the walk.
Evans walks and homers.
You know what they say? Walks as good as a home run.
Walks as good as a hit.
Oh, it's not a home run?
No. Here's the captain who had a great series for me in my 7-game loss to Unger.
Let's go, Captain. This could be a double play ball here if he makes contact.
Yankees playing halfway. Oh, that's a ground ball to
Good
third.
bird.
There it is.
Left, Lazari, Gehrig, and there's 2 out.
I would have started Euclid at DH.
I don't think Yuke's on the roster. I don't think he made the cut.
Yeah.
All right, we go
All
to the top half of the 4th.
Not yet.
No.
Whoa. We're not. Wade is up. We got Chicken Man up. Here we go. 2 gone.
You know, I met him once. He was an absolute dick.
I'm not surprised. Now it's your turn as Boggs grounds out to third.
There we go.
Like, I'm not. I was doing a gig. I was in Cleveland at the Cleveland Improv, and I was in a bar, and he was there by himself drinking beers. And believe me, I'm not somebody who like walks up to people like, "Oh my God, you're Wade Boggs." I was very sort of like, hey, and just a complete just gave me like a death stare. And then the other guy who was a dick that I ran into, when you live in LA, I think I've told you guys the Marlon Brando story, right? Where I ran into him in a yogurt shop.
No.
I don't think I heard that story.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I was living in LA, and it was late at night. I was dating. I think I talked about it on my thing on this Mark Sports Replay. But I was living with this insane chick. She was like just out of her mind. Great looking, but just out of her mind. And so I had to leave the house because I needed to not be near her. And I went to this yogurt shop that was near us. I walked in there to get some yogurt, and there's nobody behind the counter.
God, that's such a California story. Got to go get some yogurt.
Well, it kind of is frozen yogurt. And this was in Studio City, which is kind of at the bottom of the hill of Laurel Canyon, which the top of that is Mulholland Drive, which is where Brando lived. So I go into the store. There's nobody there, like not even anybody like behind the counter. I'm waiting for the guy, to come from the back, and all of a sudden I hear the ding ding ding, the ring of the bell. And I turn, and there's Marlon fucking Brando and me waiting for our yogurt, which is like such a crazy LA moment. But so the other thing I was talking about as far as like meeting, and with Brando, I didn't say a word. I could not speak. I just sat there. I said, "Oh my God, there's Brando." And I just kept it to myself, had my yogurt, left, or ordered my yogurt, left. Was Joe Walsh, the musician.
Oh, for the Eagles, yeah.
I was
so far.
I was in a Ralph's, which is like the big supermarket in LA. And again, late at night, it was kind of the aisles were empty. And Joe Walsh is, shopping and whistling. Life's been good. And I did walk up to him and I said, "Hey, I really appreciate your music." And he came like, "Yeah, okay." And he walked like he was a dick. He was a dick.
But his
Did
Maserati
Brando live near Harry Bosch?
Maybe you were the dick. All these people are dicks you meet. Maybe it's you.
You're still dick. Joe Walsh, dick. Wade Boggs, dick.
What's the common denominator in all
dick.
these stories?
They're dicks. All right, where are we?
Manley's up. Only hitting the game is from Donnie Baseball.
All right, so we're at the top of the 4th. All right, here we go. Don Mattingly to lead off for the Yankees.
4-1-1. Give me the information.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Pedroia's got it.
And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Pedroia with the easy toss to first, 1 down.
Has there been a strikeout in this game?
No.
No.
There has not. Oh, yeah, that's
That's crazy. Yeah.
4-2-2.
There won't be if you keep rolling 4s.
I
Right.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you using a dice tower or are you just setting the numbers? Ground ball to short.
He's
Garcia Parra has it.
He's
No
using
more.
dice tower.
Gets mantled by a
he's throwing him
step.
down the stairs.
Right.
Yep.
Here he is, the Sultan of SWAT himself.
He's a slinky.
515.
That could be a walk.
Well, listen, actually, it might be good.
That's a walk.
It is a walk.
Ruth
Goodness.
draws the walk for Joe DiMaggio.
Joe
Two
DiMaggio.
gone here in the fourth.
The ghost of Marilyn Monroe is in the stands.
Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
The nation turns. its
Clemens
little eyes
delivers.
354.
That could be something.
Yep.
Fly ball to
Fly
left.
ball to Williams, the greatest
Teddy's
hitter
ball.
ever lived.
Ed Williams. And that'll do it. We go to the bottom of the fourth. We got a pitcher's duel with only one hit in the game.
I don't want to jinx Ron Guidry. He's got no hitter going right now.
Here's the greatest shortstop of all time, Nomar Garcia Parra.
Nomar's going deep.
He's
He's going deep right here. He's fixing his
man.
gloves right now.
No man.
Oh.
Nope.
Ground
The
ball to
A-Rod.
third.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
Rod, having a
First
busy
one
day.
away.
He's back on the couch now.
A-Rod.
Hey,
Here's
he was
Teddy
almost a
Ball.
Red Sox.
And by the way, APBA Chatter, I actually love the show Bosch. And the books are great too.
Yeah, I read the books. They're good.
Michael Connolly.
All right, come on, Teddy. Jeter.
Wow.
Guys are loving your fours today. Tapper back to first. He'll make the play as an unassisted, I believe so.
That's ground ball to Jeter.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see that.
Jeter got to it.
Right,
Great
two,
range.
Derek, Jeter.
Here's Jimmy Fox.
The beast.
Double X.
Come on, Jimmy.
Yeah, the arms on that guy. You ever see pictures of
Jeez.
insane?
Ground ball to Jeter again. And come in infield single here.
Possible base hit. Roll the
We
one
gotta roll
die.
these. So 1 and 6, he's out. 2 and through 5, he's safe. Beat it out, Jimmy.
And he's safe.
Yay.
And again, one of the cool things about PC Replay Baseball, I think, is the fact that sometimes there are several dice rolls.
Yep, the blue
and you
die is
can-
great.
And yeah, and you could, yeah, right. It really adds flavor to things.
So here we go. 2
All right, man
outs.
on first, 2 away. David Ortiz steps in. He's 0 for 1.
One.
Struck him.
They're striking out of the
Struck
game.
him out.
First one of the game.
So we're finished 4 here from Fenway Park. No score. As Alex Rodriguez, the steroid guy, steps in.
235.
Steroid versus steroid.
That'll
Right.
be a strikeout.
2-3-5. Now they're coming.
Struck him out.
There you go.
Struck him out.
As Clemens matches Guidry's strikeout total.
My favorite fake Jason Varitek quote when they had the fight with A-Rod back in 2004. This was never really said, but it's a great quote. We don't throw at 240 hitters.
John, did you roll?
342.
3-4-2.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to finish the story.
Bingo.
Uh-oh, rare
Rare
play.
play, possibly.
Roll it again.
You roll 1 die.
1 die.
If it's a 3 or a 5,
2.
It's a rare playbook. 2.
2.
Dribbler.
Dribbler back to the mound.
Uh-oh.
Clemens has to hurry.
Roll one more die.
4.
I think he got him. Yep. Just nips Yogi Berra.
Good job,
Surprisingly
Vanessa.
quick down down that base path. 2 away. It's Lou Gehrig.
245.
Base hit to left field.
Man,
Wow.
little oppo single.
Second hit of the game for the Yankees brings up
Right.
Tony Lazzari, who always to me reminds me a little bit of Peter Lorre,
265.
I could see that.
at least in that picture. Line drive towards the gap.
Uh-oh. Oh!
Ted Williams
oh.
makes the catch. A diving catch by Ted Williams. And we
Who
move
says he
to
can't
the
play
bottom
defense?
of the 5th. I don't think it's that
Bottom
Ted
five.
Williams couldn't play defense. It's just that he was average defensively and godlike.
That's right.
I
Offensively.
wouldn't say average defensively. He was below average.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
like, well, is that proven in his
I think in
numbers
most of the
in game,
years,
like
it's
action
probably
PC
a three
and-
or four in action PC, which puts
Yeah.
him in the average, low average
Yeah.
range.
I'd say average. He wasn't Manny Ramirez. He wasn't that bad.
Right.
No,
All right, here we go.
Here's
Dustin
Pedroia.
Pedroia to lead it off against Guidry.
was actually a good pitcher.
Williams?
Yeah, not at the major league level, but
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know. I never do that.
Strikeout.
Struck him out.
Guidry's getting the strikeout game on now. Here's Freddie Lynn. Come on, Freddie.
Freddie does not belong in this game, Lynn.
He does
Yes, he
too.
does.
He probably does, actually.
Oh my lord.
Struck him out.
He struck him out.
He's putting someone in the ball or something.
Brings up Dwight Evans.
Come on, Dewey.
Evans walked in his only at bat. There's the pitch.
Good lord.
Swing and a miss and another strikeout. Did he strike out the side?
Struck out the
Yes,
side.
he did.
Yeah.
He did.
So we go to the top of the sixth. Still no score. It'll be Jeter, Mattingly, and Mickey Mantle.
Derek Jeter. 6-2-3.
Oh, that could be something good with that 8 there.
Yeah, it could be.
Base
The
hit to
single.
center.
Single. 'Cause
We know. We
Derek
get it.
Jeter. All right, Donnie, ball game.
Do you want to hit and run or
5-3-6.
anything like that?
No. 5-3-2.
5-3-2.
5-3-2. Ground ball to third.
Turn it.
Yeah,
They
they
get
get
the
the
force.
They
force.
get the force at second for Mickey Mantle. Mantle 0 for 2. Fly out, grounded out.
5-3-1.
And he walked him. So
Oh.
runner and
No, not
Oh,
yet.
no.
I thought it was an automatic walk.
5.
Now he walked him. So the Yankees with runner in scoring position, one away, and Babe
Come
Ruth.
on, babe. Give me a high number. 6-3-3.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Got him.
Whoa!
Come out.
huge short strikeout by Clemens.
Just
Down
woke up
goes
the cat
the-
with that.
The Bambino goes down.
4-6-3. That's not the double play around the
No,
horn.
that's right. I was just thinking that. Ground ball to third.
It
Got
would have been. Huh?
Fires
Out
the
of the
first
jam.
in time. So Clemens gets out of it, and we go to the bottom half of the sixth.
This game may go
Still
45
scoreless.
innings.
I was just thinking that, Yeah, absolutely. Well, eventually you get to the bullpen, though. I guess that they're not going to be quite as good.
Yeah,
Unless you just keep throwing in starters. It's a one game.
right. I mean, you got Mariano Rivera and Pedro Martinez. Good luck
Well,
with that.
right,
so.
right.
Come on, Veritek.
This is a really fun game, though. I really like PC replay baseball.
Guidry struck out 4 in a row now.
Yep.
Yes, another strikeout.
He is now fan
He's
5
got
all
5.
over.
He's
One
4
away
in a
for
row.
Boggs.
You're not going to strike out Boggs.
Famous last words.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Base
single.
hit.
Base hit.
A different player that could have easily been a home run. Ruth, I'm sure that's gone.
I'm going to go a little hit and run right here
Ooh.
because Boggs, Nomar doesn't strike out,
Okay.
and Boggs is slow as hell.
Yeah, he's got a high on base.
Nomar swings everything too. So here's to see.
All right, hit and run. Boggs takes off. Ground ball to
We did the
first
job. Good job.
Yep.
as he gets the job done. So now there's a man on second with 2 away.
See,
For
Nomar's a
Ted
team
Williams.
player. He goes the
For Ted
opposite way,
Williams.
gives himself up.
For Ted.
That's like Nomar. All right, Teddy. I'd probably walk Teddy. You want to walk him?
Let's see who's up next.
Can you do it
Jimmy
intentional
Fox.
based on ball?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy Fox is, is
He's
no
not top
slouch.
liver, but
They walk Ted. I kind of talked him into that, didn't I?
Yes, you absolutely did.
I mean, I was putting an option right there because
All right. This
I
is now
played-
this is now guaranteed to at least be a double.
Well, I played this game so often that when I play the computer, they intentionally walk to Williams all the time when the base is open.
Oh, really?
Like, you know, no, I say all the time. Like most, like it's surprising when they don't. So
Oh, wow.
I was just kind of, it was natural for me to see a base open and Williams to play it like, oh, he's going to walk. So, all right, here we go. Big at bat.
And
Walk
that could be a
him.
walk. It is.
Ooh,
The bases are
bases
loaded.
juice.
For Ortiz.
For Big Poppy.
Who doesn't feel so big in this game? When you look at the lineup and then you think of Ortiz, he doesn't feel like Big Poppy. He's like Tiny Poppy.
He struck out his
When
last
you,
time.
when you got Jimmy Fox, Ted Williams,
Puny Poppy.
He's
He
popping.
started-
right? Puny Poppy, right?
Yeah, this was the guy that Gidry first struck out. Started his little streak he had on there. So let's see if he can make an
One.
adjustment here.
Come on, give me a red one.
Big at bat. Come on. Come on.
Give me a red one.
No, you want to
Okay,
red
that,
six.
that might work.
Oh,
no, you-
ground
yeah.
out.
Oh.
Grounds out to end the inning.
Both teams threaten. They can't score.
It's
A legitimate
pitcher's duel
pitcher's duel
through
here.
six. Get Ron.
As we go to the seventh, it'll be A-Rod, Yogi, and Lou Gehrig to face Clemens. Who could Mike
2-2-4.
go 8? And that is a single to left. So the first, no one scored. It's only the fourth hit for the Yankees. Here's Yogi.
All right, now I will hit and run.
Ooh.
Barry doesn't
Yogi's
strike out
a
much.
great guy to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
2-3-2.
Hit and run is on. Ground ball to third, and A-Rod goes to second.
Good job by Yogi.
Yep, moves the runner up. 1 on, 1 out for Lou Gehrig.
Not a bad
wanna-
team
you-
when you have
You want
Gehrig
to walk
batting
Gehrig?
eighth.
You want to walk Gehrig?
Gonna walk Gehrig for Lazari.
You want to walk Gehrig?
Absolutely, yeah.
And he does.
I would.
Gehrig getting
You
all the
want
respect
Gehrig.
in the world.
Thank you very much for bringing that up. I was
And I would consider pinch hitting for Lazari. At least I would want to see who else is on the bench.
You want to see what your
Yeah,
bench?
let's take a look here.
So Bernie Williams, Earl Combs, Thurman Munson, Robinson Cano, Bill Dickey, Charlie Keller, Willie Randolph, Phil Rizzuto, and Greg Nettles. I'm
What's,
honestly surprised you started A-Rod over Nettles.
So Lazari's batting average is 317, and his on base is 364, 384. I might go with Bernie Williams.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah,
Switch hits,
Bernie, burn,
Bernie.
baby, burn.
burn, baby, burn.
You don't
and
want
then bring in Cano to play second.
Robinson.
Or
Cano.
Don't you
Randall.
know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, hey, don't you know?
All right, roll it there, Turnbull.
5-6-6.
God.
And he walks. They're
The
loaded.
bases are loaded. One
captain.
away.
You leaving Clemens in?
I'm leaving Roger in. I'm
No
gonna leave.
batting.
You know what? I could bring in Pedro.
Derek Jeter loves the spotlight. Bases loaded. This is his time
Derek.
to shine.
Derek Jeter.
I'm gonna keep Roger in there.
Jeter.
All right. Jeter 1 for 3. Bases loaded. 1 out.
1-3-6.
Uh-oh.
That could be a strikeout.
Base
Single
hit.
up the middle. A-Rod scores.
Oh,
Eric
my
scores.
goodness.
Now you
Bernie
need your new
stopped
pair
the
of
third.
shoes. Let's go. 2 runs are in.
You're fired.
That's horrible.
Here's Mattingly, who's 0 for 2.
No, he's 1 for 3.
1 for he's single.
One
That's
for,
right.
yeah,
Getting that
you got a
wheel.
base in there. Yeah.
Yeah, he led off
I did. Yep.
First hit of the game.
4-6-4.
Williams on third. Jeter on first. Ground ball to Fox.
Off his
And that's
glove.
off his glove.
Ooh.
A base hit. Bernie scores. It's 3-0.
Can't believe I'm rooting for the Yankees.
Oh my goodness.
Money
This
talk.
comeback's gonna be great though.
Coming up next, The Godfather with Michael Canestrari.
I got a Cornella for Yankees and Red Sox.
9-4-1-8.
9418.
That's right.
Okay. 1-1-5.
Uh-oh. Nikki.
Well, oh man, could be an
Oh,
error too
no.
on
Line
Dewey.
drive to Evans. Is he going to make an error?
Clemens just the steroids clearly wore off.
Roll 2 die.
2 die. Combiner or just
Dan
read
Verdon
one,
says.
two?
Binary.
Dan Verdon says get smart follows the ball game.
It's a 3-1 is what the roll was.
No error. It's coming to the boost check.
1.
If you don't pull Clemens, I'm going to lose all respect for you.
Bases
Got a
loaded.
boost check right there. Do I not bring in Pedro right now? Let me see.
Yeah, you want to because Pedro said, "Bring in, wake up the babe." I'll throw at his ass too, right?
Yeah. Let's bring in Pedro.
I got
Oh,
Zimmer, Aaron.
I
got
actually
Zimmer
have
as the
Ruth.
first
I
base
can bring
coach.
in Ruth to face I can face Ruth to
Yeah.
face Ruth.
Against Ruth.
Yes.
Let's
Ruth
do
to face
that.
Ruth.
Let's do that.
Are we sure it won't crash the game? No, it won't. That would only be another game that would happen in.
Ruth
So Babe
versus
Ruth to face Babe Ruth.
It looks like a younger Babe Ruth facing an older Babe Ruth.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Or 1-1.
They are 11 years apart. It's 16 Ruth and 27 Ruth. Ground ball to Fox.
There we go.
Well,
Any of
could
you
be
ever-
double
Not yet.
play.
Not yet.
Roll 1 for Nomar.
1.
They double
Yes.
Ruth gets Ruth to ground into a double play. Stretch time. Yankees. Big
John.
inning. They get 3.
John,
Yeah.
when you came to Baltimore, did you go to the Babe Ruth Museum?
No.
Oh, why
No, haven't been
not?
there yet. No, I haven't been there yet.
So John, you want Cano, right?
I mean, you were like 3 blocks away
yeah.
from it.
Or do you want Randolph?
Let's see. Put Cano in.
Go
Cano-
old school. Come on, man.
No, Cano is actually better.
He is, but
Cano's
it's
he's a
really,
1.
It's
So
Willie Randolph.
So Cano is a 1 range wise. That's elite. 54 is really good too. So he's a good defensive player out there. Here's the comeback begins.
Here's Pedroia. You use
So
that
how does the
Sharpie to
pitcher
make that
fatigue
beard.
work on this?
Use that Sharpie to do what?
How does pitcher fatigue work?
They get tired.
So pitcher fatigue. Guidry's got 7 batters left on A grade on an A grade.
Right.
And then after 7, he could get a boost as well. Okay, but as long as that's green right there, he's good. He's not tired.
Okay. All right.
What'll happen is after the 7, the first hit or walk he gives up,
Mhm.
he'll go down to B grades.
Actually, maybe
no,
it's
not B grades. That's APBA. He'll
Yeah.
lose all of his.
No,
yeah,
there's
his
there's a
card
B grade.
it's B grade. Yeah,
Oh, that's
but
see
actually
that- you see
maybe
that
maybe
B-line- you
2
see that
because
B-line
the
there,
shutout
John?
going there too.
I don't think Pesky ever read the rules. and in all fairness, that would be fine because I never have either. I just trust the computer to do what it's supposed to do. That's the beautiful
here's-
thing about buying computer games. Just let the computer do its
I don't
thing.
want to go hit and no hit and run here. I was going to go. Landon will strike out. Let's see if Lincoln hit a home run here.
Nope.
Nope. He can fly
Just
out to
missed
center
it.
though. He can fly out to center like a champion.
Just missed it. Just missed it. All right, Dewey.
Dwight is walked and struck out. Lines out to
Lines out.
Mantle. 2 out. Did Mickey never played left? Did he? He was in right
don't-
field his rookie year.
I don't know.
Here's
All right.
Veritek.
I love Veritek. We're going to make a little change here.
Yeah.
Let's pinch it for Jimmy Rice.
All right. My childhood hero. Gonna homer off a Guidry right here.
Needing a hit, I might go with the guy who hit 360. That's just me.
We need the home run.
Give me a red one.
Oh, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Come on.
6.
Come
You
on.
need
Need
a
a
6.
6.
6 is
Need
a
a
home
6.
run. It's a single. Pedroia goes to third. So runners on the corners, 2 out for Wade Boggs. Do you know the chicken man?
Come on,
everywhere,
Boggsy.
he's everywhere.
Come on, Bogsy.
You can't pinch hit for Boggs.
No.
Hey.
Ground ball to A-Rod, and that will do. Red Sox leave on 2. We go to the 8th, 3-0 New York.
As the Red Sox fans start to exit the stadium.
And so Carlton Fisk or Jimmy Fox can catch?
Fox was a catcher.
That's right, he was,
I
wasn't
think
he?
I knew that actually. Yeah.
To catch Babe Ruth.
He was on that great. He was on the
3-2-5.
great A's team, right? Of
What'd you say, John?
Yeah. The late 20s, early
3-2-5.
30s.
Yeah.
I missed it again. What'd you say?
3-2-5.
3-2-5.
Thanks for everybody in the chat for sticking with us, right? Everybody watching.
Fly ball to center, 1 out for DiMaggio.
Yeah, we were in the 30s there when Kurkjian was on. That's
That's pretty good.
It's good for
Yeah.
our hobby.
A-Rod.
It's not
A-Rod.
Rogan numbers, but
3,
Light
4,
up for
5.
Struck out and singled. Rare play check. Roll a die, John.
5.
2 dice.
3-1.
Oh, he
Oh,
gets
hey.
hit.
hit him.
Hit Aaron
Oh,
on
he
the
broke his
wrist.
wrist.
Uh-oh.
Removed.
All right. I'll put Nettles in. As the oh, no, here, let me pitch Ron.
Well, yeah,
first.
right. You want a speed guy first.
So let's go. Let's put Randolph in.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll go ahead and hit and run.
Oh, rare.
Hello, Captain
Hey,
Carr.
Bobby.
I'm Captain Carr.
It's a rare. Okay, so you got roll. It's a rare play event. Randolph attempts to steal on the first pitch to the next hitter. So roll
Okay.
one die.
Don't roll a 6.
1.
So we steal second.
He steals second.
So man on
Okay, I'll
second,
take the
one
hit and
out.
run off then.
Right.
All right.
For Yogi,
1-6-3.
That could be a K.
no, not the 4.
Pops
Pops
him up.
out the third. 2 out. Red Sox trying to hold this to a 3-run deficit for Lou Gehrig, who has grounded out, singled, and intentionally walked.
6-2-3.
These are rivals right here. They don't like each other. 6-2-3.
Red Sox
yeah.
looked outmatched today, if you ask me.
6-2-3.
Ruth delivers. Gehrig swings.
Uh-oh.
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 Roll
We
one
need a
die.
6. Roll a 6. We need a 6.
5.
All right.
That's a
That's still going to
single.
score Randolph.
I would think so.
Well, Dewey's arm. No, don't that.
4
So
is
it's
it.
4-0.
It's not good.
Are you surprised? It is the Yankees.
We're gonna.
Mark must have had a bunch of prop bets on this game.
We're gonna go ahead and bring in Pedro.
To face Robinson Cano, don't you know?
4-5-2.
Look at all the
He played with
Hey.
Seattle before the Yankees, right? Am I right?
No,
about that?
after.
Or after.
after.
Infield's possible infield single.
Roll a die.
Roll it.
Good chance of being safe.
4.
Safe.
Yep, he is. And like the prom dress, it's all come undone for the Red Sox.
It's not been good. It's not bad. I
Paul
need Al
Douglas
Bunbury.
says
Is
this
what I
brings
need.
me back.
If I only had Al Bunbury.
Yeah.
5-1-6.
Jeter, a 2-run single in the 7th. He's had a good day,
Possible walk.
and he
Walk 'em.
walks.
Goodness. Come on, Pedro.
Bases loaded again. 2 out.
Automatically.
For Mattingly. 4-0.
Didn't he hit
New
all
York.
of his? Didn't he hit all of his Grand Slam home runs in one season?
87.
87.
Yeah, he hit 8 of them when he tied Dale Long for the most number
Wait,
of Grand Slams
he-
in the season.
Whoa. He hit 8 home runs in 87.
No, he had
Grand
8 Grand
Slams.
Slams.
Say again?
Eight Grand Slams.
I meant eight Grand Slams, but then never hit a Grand Slam in any other
Oh.
season?
No, I take that back. That was the 8 straight. I have my
straight
stats
games.
mixed up. 8 straight games with a home run.
Home run.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
there
it
was a player who hit a bunch of Grand Slams in one season and never hit, but that wasn't Mattingly.
Oh.
So my bad. All right. 5-4-1.
Base action charts.
Roll one.
We got to combine them, right?
Yeah, combine.
Yeah.
You rolled. Yeah.
Okay. It's a 5.
What's it?
Wild pitch.
5 wild
You got
pitch.
to roll.
You got to roll 2 dice.
It doesn't matter. You can call it
Just
a
2-3.
4-1. It doesn't really
It's
matter.
a 4. It's a 1-4.
1-4. Okay.
1-4.
Possible wild pitch.
Roll again, John.
1.
Ooh, that won't.
No.
Good job
Oh.
by Fisk.
Yep.
Good job by Fisk back there. All right.
They desperately. All right.
Madley's still up. Long at bat.
2-2-2.
Kevin Moss is upset that he's not in this game.
So is Cliff
Up,
Johnson.
Tim up. Fox is there. The Yankees rally stymied. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-0 New York. So it'll be Noma.
Sox with just
No
3
matter.
hits in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, you want Nettles at third base?
Yes.
When I saw the 6-6 today, when the Nettles hit that home run in the 9th inning, the bottom of the 9th of the 77 series I'm playing, the thrill was everything it was when I was 12. It was literally exactly that same. I was like, oh my god! Like I couldn't believe it.
All right. The rally starts now. Here we go.
Okay. Sure it does. Guidry takes it to the bag himself, 1 out. All right. Here's Ted Williams, who was intentionally walked before, lined out the first and grounded out to Jeter.
You want to walk him
Yankees.
intentionally again? You want to walk him again?
No.
You should walk him.
You
You
get
should
points for trying. Oh my gosh.
Ground
Ground
ball
ball
to
to
third.
Nettles over to first.
And
Didn't
the Yankees
Nettles-
are 4 outs away.
I think these are 2026 Red Sox I'm playing. Good
Oh
Lord.
my gosh. Here's Jimmy Fox. Wants to go back to Philadelphia.
I just want to point out the Red Sox lost the 7-game franchise. They've lost this. The Red Sox.
There's a walk.
They
It all
haven't
starts with
lost-
a walk.
They haven't lost this one yet there, Unger.
Oh, yeah, yes, they have.
So right there, Guidry
There's
got
a
a boost
little
check.
guy I like to call Mariano Rivera.
If you'll see
That
that-
can come in and
John, Guidry got a boost
Yeah.
check of the 6 now. So he got a little more endurance too. So
Okay.
he's pitching well. All right. Base action chart. So we'll see what happens here. Pitch in
Nothing.
the dirt, it's blocked. No advance. All right, come on, Poppy.
Medium Poppy. Power check. Struck him out.
Oh,
Hey,
Goodness.
Struck him out.
We go to the 9th, 4-0 New York.
dun 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 dun. This
For
inning
Mickey
brought to you
Mantle.
by
We're gonna pinch it.
Schaefer.
You're going to pinch it for Mickey Mantle?
No. 1-4-6.
1, 4, 6.
Pedro. Got him.
Struck
that,
him
Mickey.
out.
Now here's Babe Ruth. Martinez versus Babe Ruth. Everyone's up on their feet for this.
Wake up the damn Bambino.
3-1-6.
The Bambino has been awoken, and Pedro lines him out to Ted Williams.
Teddy's there.
2 out for Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see my options. I want to give somebody else a chance to play. Just to
All
get
right.
in and out of the action here.
Yeah, you should definitely slow
Uh,
down the game more, John. That's
Yeah, I think so.
great plan. You're winning 4-0. Can you just finish the game?
Okay, I'll let
Thurman Keller.
DiMaggio bat. I was going to pinch hit Keller, but I'll let DiMaggio.
Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Thurman
Okay.
Munson because I love Thurman Munson. He's actually the
We'll put-
one Yankee.
We'll
I
put
love.
Keller in.
Actually,
Put Keller in.
the truth is that in the 70s, I liked the Yankees. I mean, I
He
was
said
a Mets
Keller's-
fan,
Keller's
but-
in.
Mark that 7 games to make his own substitutions. 1-2-4.
Got him.
Good job, Pedro.
All right, 4 to tie, 5 to win.
and,
Okay,
a
you bring-
killer, and a killer substitution.
Are you bringing Mo in?
Not yet.
No, he's throwing a 3-hitter.
Yeah, why would you do that?
So Pedroia Well, you got to bring in a center fielder. Combs. then-
Yes, Coombs. Yeah.
Pedroia looks like he took a Sharpie to put on that mustache and beard.
All right, rally time. Here we go.
So does Guidry.
Guidry at least was tall. Ground ball to Cano, and that's out. So,
Don't you
true
know?
story. Watching the World Series batting practice, and they got it from the center field camera, but they're not zoomed. And we're going to pinch hit for Freddie Lynn. You got to bring in Yaz, right?
Wait, you just played an entire game and didn't use Carl Yastrzemski?
You're gonna.
This is the game right now, isn't it? I'm using them right now.
All right.
Here we
Good
go.
timing. 4-0 ninth.
Where
Wow,
would
Guidry's
you?
walk 6.
Yeah.
God.
And
That's-
Cano with the leaping catch. Last chance saloon, 2 out.
That's going to put his pitch count like in the 130s, don't you think?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Here we go.
Of course,
Last
back
out.
then, that's not a big deal.
Can you imagine coming back from this down your last out?
Yeah, it'd be horrible if he blew it now.
Can you imagine?
It would suck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
It's a
here it
walk.
goes.
Uh-oh.
Here's the
For
start.
Fisk, here we go.
Uh-oh. Nomar's looming, by the way. He's looming.
Oh, God.
I
God,
mean,
we never hear the end of
I
it.
mean, Nomar is the tying run, isn't
Did
he?
you say he's looming?
He's
Yes.
it's 4-2. Yeah, Nomar's a tying run right now.
Nomar is looming.
He's fruit of the looming.
He's looming. Here we go, Fisky. Oh, no.
Lines out to Ruth.
Man, that'll do it. And I
Yankees win.
won a lot of money.
Oh, Yankees win.
I mean, that it was a 3-hit shutout. So let's, how about a round of applause for Guidry?
Yeah.
If you had the under, you won.
Oh,
That is-
right.
That
right,
is true.
right.
5 runs.
So we got a question from, and we should wrap up really soon, but I think it's worth talking about really, really quickly. Would love for you guys, DJ Gill said, would love you guys to compare PC replay and action PC. Oh, internet play pros and cons. Well, we can't really do that because we're not playing internet right now.
No, it's just playing on a screen.
So I don't know how to answer that question. I thought you meant the 2 games. I would say they're so different. They both do what they do really, really well, but it's 2 completely different approaches. And one's closed engine, one's not. I mean, there's all that stuff, right, Ron?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, close up the game, Pesky, if you would, so we can say our good nights. Oh, actually, I'll do it. Never mind. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Big thanks to Tim Kurkjian for spending time with us, telling us some great stories. Guys, for the documentary, if you could, go to boxscorefilm.com, click on the pre-launch, and just give us your email address. The pre-launch is basically, and I've said this obviously many times now, but just so you understand, it's a way for us to gauge the degree of interest in making this documentary happen. It's not saying to us, here's my money. It's saying I would be interested in contributing, if everything I see looks good, meaning the proof of concept reel, and some really good things are happening with that. We have started to raise funding for that. So if you could just go to boxscorefilm.com, click on the pre-launch little icon on the homepage. Let us have your email address. We'll send you updates as things develop with the documentary. It's a really, really important part of this process. You've been so supportive of what we've been doing for the last 3 months. And one of the best ways to support us is just giving us your email address.
And we
It's as
have been
simple as that.
getting, we still have been getting steadily
it's
emails coming
growing.
in. So, yep.
But when I talk to, in fact, I had a conversation today with somebody who's interested in helping out. And the first question they ask, because they know about the pre-launch list, is, I think the question was, how much support are you guys garnering? And the best way to show that is through this pre-launch list, right? If we can show, hey, there's 300 people who are ready to contribute something. Now, that something might be $25. It might be, $100 or more. Who knows? But it's the interest level that piques the curiosity and the interest from game developers, from even from potential interviews. I mean, getting Tim Kurkjian on the show wasn't that difficult. He really believed in the project. He loved the idea. I told him about Ron and his story. He thought there was something so fabulous. I mean, so warm and compelling about Ron and his journey and then he watched some of our shows, and he likes what we're doing. So this is the perfect place. In fact, I believe that I think there's a lot of people in the media. Maybe it's going to be a little more difficult with players, at least certainly current players, or some of the big name players. They're difficult to get to. Keith Hernandez. Do we want him on the show? Of course we do. Could we get him on the documentary? Quite possibly. Could we get him on the show? More difficult. But there are a lot of other,
especially in season, because
well, sure, yeah, but also there's so many layers of that. They've got a PR person, they've got a manager, they've got an agent. Just getting to them, with Tim, I just went to their podcast, saw an email address, and wrote. But that's not going to be the case with everybody.
No, when I dealt with Tim before, we didn't say this on the air. I actually interviewed Tim when I worked covering the Nationals.
I thought you guys talked about it, no?
I don't think we talked about it on air.
Not on air.
We talked about it beforehand.
Oh, right.
So whenever ESPN would offer somebody, it was all through their PR people, and it was specific. Yeah. You get 10 minutes with Tim Kurkjian. You get 10 minutes
like Tim was talking about with Ted Williams,
right? And so that's how they did it, and they had to okay everything that you did. So it's all very tight, and as it should be, because ESPN is a brand name. You don't want to abuse the privilege of having one of their personalities on.
And it's very corporate. And remember, it's not just ESPN, it's Disney. I mean, things have become worse because
even worse in those 10 years.
All been bought by these huge conglomerates, and everything is insulated and everything is sanitized. And quite frankly, it's a problem in a lot of entertainment and in the arts, because everything is owned by three people basically.
Mike, good game. Enjoyed it.
Good game.
That was fun. We got to play PC. And we should play basketball at some point.
The only problem
with basketball, the only problem with basketball on our channel is it's not a you coach versus I coach kind of game. It's very much about the players. But we should still play some. So I think
basketball would be tough. Basketball. I mean, that'd be tough.
It's just different. It's a much different thing. All right, take care, everybody. We will talk to you very soon. Please, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the bell, the notification bell. So this way, you'll know anytime we put up content. You know about Tuesdays, but I put up content on various days. Sometimes we do roundtable discussions. The best way to know that is to hit the notifications. That's it. We'll see you. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys.